Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Wednesday afternoon.
What is with you? You're just weird.
How's that?
What is with you in this jacuzzi thing?
Here we go. Happy Wednesday. Happy Juneteenth. As we commemorate what this day means in this country, Mason and Ireland are here for Mega Sports Talk. And, of course, major announcements all week long. Tomorrow, don't miss the major announcement at 10 a.m. And then on Mason and Ireland at 1:30 p.m., a very special guest will join the show. That's tomorrow. Today, keep listening for us to give away Mandy's tickets for Saturday night at the Commerce Casino. You could be in the house to see if Steve Mason wins Host of the Year. And will Mason and Ireland win Show of the Year?
So you put your thing in a pouch, and then when you walk out of the theater, they unzip the pouch for you. You can't do it by yourself.
So keep listening for your chance to be in the house. And right now, let's do it. The Hall of Famers celebrating their 20th year at ESPN Los Angeles, the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland. Your Wednesday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon. I want to start the show exactly where we started it yesterday.
Boston.
There you go. Just wanted to get that in there. Before we got everything rolling today. So Mandy's are on Saturday. Excited for that. We still don't know who the Lakers head coach is, although we assume it's going to be J.J. Redick.
Now,
I'm going on that assumption. Strong assumption.
Let me throw this at you guys, and you just react to it and let me know what you think. When the Lakers hired Frank Vogel, they tried to hire Monty Williams.
Okay.
It didn't work out. Monty had interest from both the Suns and the Lakers. Mm-hmm. I've heard conflicting reports. Some people that I trust are telling me the Lakers never actually offered him the job, and so then the Suns did, and he took the bird in hand.
Okay.
Whereas other people have told me they did offer Monty the job, and he picked the Suns over the Lakers. So either way, consider all that. He gets fired today. Is he in the mix for the Laker job now?
No, but he is in the mix to be on that bench with J.J. Redick.
He gets paid a lot of money to be fired.
Yeah,
by
he got
two different jobs.
$65 million buyout.
Let me ask you, Mace. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If he takes a job as an assistant with J.J. Redick, there's an offset to all these.
Correct.
deals.
He's cheap, right?
Yeah, but why would he do it?
Well, why would he do anything with $65 million?
That's that's why I think my answer to this question is he's out.
He should be out unless he's.
He's just going to take a year off and spend some money,
right?
Unless they try to make him the head coach, which I don't think that's a good idea in the slightest.
No,
but they might. They tried before.
He lasted 1 year.
Yeah, he lasted
one year.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
How long did he last in Phoenix?
4, I think.
Yeah, didn't work out there. Didn't work out.
Well, he got blown out there when they flamed out in the playoffs, and I think they were worried about losing Durant.
Yeah.
So they blew out Monty and brought in Vogel and then fired him after 1 year. So everybody rips the Lakers for firing the coach. What Phoenix and Detroit did is even worse.
Well, what Detroit did is absolute malpractice.
They're just throwing money down the drain.
Just flush that.
By the way, Mace, same thing with Vogel in Phoenix.
How long is he? 1 year?
Yeah, he stayed 1 year. He's got $30+ million coming.
Think about this. Monty's got twice as much money coming. That's crazy.
It's nice if these owners that have deep pockets don't care.
Yeah.
That's our dream. Me and you have been begging for a big cushy buyout for 30 years.
Their owner is that Tom Gores guy, right?
He's an L.A. guy.
Yeah, I know a guy that works with him.
Yeah.
Over there in Beverly Hills.
And to his credit, they had a 28-game losing streak. Monty was terrible. I always think it's important to give credit. Like, I thought the Russell Westbrook trade would work. Clearly, after I saw it didn't work. Mm-hmm. And I applaud the Lakers for cutting bait. So I do applaud the Pistons. If they think Monty is
just the wrong guy, coach, we're not betting on him.
Don't double down on stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
Get out.
Yep.
It's expensive, but get out.
Yeah, it must have gone all wrong.
Yeah.
It must have gone all wrong. They must have no confidence in him whatsoever to say, here's $65 million, go away.
Well, it was 80-something.
Oh, was it 80-something?
And he basically worked 1 year, and they owe him the rest.
That's insane. Good for him.
Well, Sham said earlier today that he is not, Monty Williams is not up for the Lakers.
Oh, Sham said that?
Yeah, a little bit earlier today.
I think he would know. He talks to.
Now, Shams weeks ago said the Lakers are zeroing in.
Well,
they spent a lot of time zeroing.
So here's
now.
another thing. Here's another theory for you guys.
Yeah.
So Shams and Woj have this battle over breaking news.
Who's going to get it? Yeah.
I love it so much.
It's so much fun.
So Shams kind of looked bad when out of nowhere, Woj reports Danny Hurley's the guy. The Lakers are going to offer Danny Hurley the job, and Shams never said the name Danny Hurley ever. But then Hurley turns it down.
Right.
Okay. Woj wrote a book on the Hurleys, his first book years ago. So he's friends with these people.
Yes.
And someone suggested to me, did Woj help? Was this all a ploy to get Danny Hurley more money at UConn? But why would the Lakers go along with that?
Yeah, I don't know why the Lakers would go along with that.
He's not even getting that much more money.
Because Woj got it right and Shams got it wrong. Shams said they were zeroing in, and the day after, they clearly had their mind on Danny Hurley.
And at the same time, Woj never once said the name J.J. Redick during that whole time.
Yeah.
Well, he is now, though.
Yeah, now
he is now.
Yeah.
Now it seems like he's the guy. Hey, look who's here.
Hi, Momo.
Do you guys want me to tell you what's going on?
Yes. Please do.
Yes, please lay it out for us,
We have
Momo.
many, many questions for you, Ramona. Go ahead. You look good. You look like TV, Ramona. You just get off of TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did Around the Horn, and then I went over and did NBA Today.
All right, so what is going on with the Laker job?
I think it was going to be J.J. Redick. I think it was heading in that direction, and it was just a question of, everybody being on board and working things out. And then this Monty Williams thing is interesting, guys.
Yeah, because they tried to hire him before.
Yeah, and
Shams is saying he's not a candidate for the Laker job. Do you think the opposite of that?
Right now, I think that's correct.
Okay.
However, I'll just lay out the whole board.
Got
okay.
it. Yep.
So when they first fired Darvin Ham, seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And it was only like 5 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
There was a sense that they wanted to get an experienced head coach, somebody who had been to the finals or won a finals. That's why Ty Lue's name was out there. Sure. Obviously, he was under contract. But I did hear Monty Williams' name as somebody that
if he gets fired, he could be a candidate. If he was fired,
yeah. And so, they certainly wouldn't have gone and tried to trade for him. They certainly wouldn't have given anything up.
Right.
But I definitely think there was interest there, and they were monitoring that situation, which is why when it was taking a while, people kept pointing like, well, maybe they're waiting on Monty, et cetera. Now, let's deal with the Pistons of it all. I don't know what's happening there. That is what they did, and then the way this played out is just. I have no word for it.
Isn't it as simple as they put Trajan Langdon in charge of everything and told him you have the keys to the car, and now he's driving it?
Woj says he was planning on keeping.
Trajan was keeping
Monty. Trajan was meeting with Monty. He hired Fred Vinson from New Orleans to be on his staff. They were building the team together, and this was an ownership level decision. This was
weird.
And I checked it out too, just because I saw that and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I can't believe that.
So Trajan is not the one that blew the.
No, this is Tom Gores and Arn
guy,
Tellem, and to me, it's like if this is coming from the ownership level. How are you going to do this 2 months after the season? Like, if you wanted to fire him the whole time, but you wanted to wait to go hire a new president of basketball operations and let him make the call, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go through that whole process. You hire Trajan Langdon, who's a great young executive. I'm surprised that they talked him into taking that job because it's a tough job. They let him do what they were going to do with Troy Weaver. Troy's gone, okay? They let him decide on Monty Williams, and he decides for all the world to see he's keeping him. When they hire Fred Vinson, I mean, this is
right. They're building a staff.
Yeah. And this is Trajan's guy from New Orleans. This is somebody that Monty was comfortable with, and so then for ownership to come in after all of this 2 months later and decide. No, we're getting rid of Monty. What kind of message?
And you got to pay him $65 million.
Right. And I don't care about billionaires' money. You go ahead and pay him. I don't care about Tom Gore's money. He makes plenty.
He's so rich.
But here's the thing, this is a man. Let's go back to the history of Monty. Monty he wasn't sure he should take the Pistons job because his wife had cancer. His second wife. Remember, his first wife died in this horrible car accident.
He was getting a payout from Phoenix.
Right. He was getting a payout from Phoenix, and. His second wife is diagnosed with cancer. He's just gone through that whole process in Phoenix. He wants to be there for his family. He goes, I'm not sure I should take this job. He kept saying no. And they were interviewing other people, and they just kept throwing more and more money at him. And finally got to the point where it was so much. It was $18 million a year. He signs this giant contract. He almost couldn't say no. But the other part of it was this is a tough job. And they said to him, trust us. We're going to give you time. We're going to give you space to rebuild the roster. And we know
Here's
this is a
10 minutes. Fix it.
and then to say to a guy who like wasn't sure he should take the job because of a family situation. And because of the long rebuild, and then let him go 2 months thinking, in limbo like this, and then whack him?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
All right, so I have one more
malpractice.
thing, and then I want to get into Clipped with you because I got a bunch of questions. It's so good. But Mason just suggested that Monty would be a candidate to be an assistant to JJ. I don't see Monty doing that. Do you?
I wouldn't do that if I was him. I would sit there and collect my money. However,
Right.
But I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't really know yet because I haven't heard the Lakers side of it.
Right.
But I do know. I did check on the Monty side of it to see if there was any interest there, et cetera. And I think it's too soon right now.
Yeah.
I think he kind of needs to process what happened. The word I heard was this really hurt.
Yeah.
And I think it's it depends on how antsy are the Lakers to interview him again. They know who he is.
Yeah, right.
They offered him a job last time.
Well, I've heard two stories about that. Monty says that Phoenix offered him the job before the Lakers, and so he took the bird in hand, that the Lakers never actually offered it to him. I heard, and it sounds like you did too, the Lakers did offer him the job. What do you know?
That's an interesting way to parse it. I think that he had a choice between the two jobs.
Right.
So,
but he had an offer in hand.
I actually think that's right. I actually think that's correct, John.
And he was waiting to see.
And
rather
the Lakers,
than wait on the Lakers,
Yeah.
he
He
said,
just took that
I'm
job,
going to
yeah.
Phoenix.
well, I don't know if it was a rather than wait on the Lakers. I think he liked the Phoenix job.
Right.
And I think he liked what they were
Well,
offering
he
him.
put him in the finals with 2 years
Oh,
later.
yeah. Hey, Bergman, Mandy's on Saturday. What do you got?
I'm so excited. Mandy's 3 is this Saturday night at the Commerce Casino.
Greg, I voted for you.
Did you? For which part? Hated?
Hated.
Yes.
I got at least 3 votes. I talked to Justin Craig, our boss in Bristol.
Yeah.
He voted for me 3 times.
Very
for
nice.
So
Way
I
to go,
got
Justin.
a chance.
Way to
I got
go.
a chance. Doors are opening at 4. Meet and greets and entertainment starts at 5. And we start giving out champagne and nuts trophies at 8 o'clock. It's the biggest 710 party of the year as we celebrate everything that is 710 ESPN. Tickets are sold out, but keep listening all day for your chance to win your way in. Special thanks to Tequila Mandala for presenting the Best Segment Award, Game of Games, again
Game
this
of
year.
Games.
Tequila Mandala, demand the extraordinary.
All right, there you have that. Coming up next, boy, Momo. Best episode of Clipped
It was-
yet
yeah, it was
was
the-
last night. It
yeah.
is such, and it. We'll talk about it
Yeah.
next. And Pepe is going to be here too. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about Jacob Imrani. Did you know that all personal injury attorneys are not the same? They're not going to treat you the same. One primary example is if you're in an accident, you hire an attorney. Some major law firms may deem that your accident is, hey, Pepe, we're doing a little read here. Thank you. Pepe? That's all right. That's all right, Pepe. We got to focus. One primary example of this is if you're in an accident and you hire an attorney, some major law firms may say, that accident's too small, not worth their time. So they farm it out to some smaller, less experienced firm. Imagine if that's you. You think you're hiring one person, but you got somebody else handling your case, and it's a rookie. That is another reason why if you're in an accident, call Jacob. Every case is equally important to Jacob. He will not hand off your case to somebody else. And let's face it, who do you want dealing with the insurance company? Jacob or like some kid out of law school? Don't take the risk. If you're injured in an accident, call Jacob. Get the medical care you need and the compensation that you deserve. Because remember, when you call an attorney, you want one who is respected. Call Jacob. He is the real deal. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
and don't forget, when you call Jacob, tell him Mason and Shadano from 710 ESPN sent you. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans. major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come.
Commemorate what this day means in this country. Don't forget, we've had 2 major announcements so far this week on Major Announcement Week. USC is back on 710, and Cappy's got a new deal. What will tomorrow bring? Be listening at 10 a.m. for major announcement number 3, and then at 1:30 p.m. to this show, Mason and Ireland, for a very special guest. That's tomorrow. Right now, though, more of Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon on 710.
A trivia question. Great one.
Pepe Montilla has joined us.
Pepe! And you know what he's bringing to the show today?
Focus.
He's bringing a lot of it.
Now,
And he rode in on his...
The horse.
And Momo's here, and all 3 of us were lucky enough, Pepe, Mace, and I, to be at the premiere of Clipped
Yes.
that Ramona got us into. For those of you who have been living under a rock, Clipped is the story that's running on Hulu of Ramona's podcast series, The Sterling Affairs, about how the Clippers crumbled in the end of the Donald Sterling. Now, Pepe, are you up to speed on Clipped? Have you watched all 3 episodes?
Not yet.
I've seen all 4.
Not yet because I'm savoring it. I watched 3 times the first one, 3 times the second one.
Oh, wow.
I think it builds like a ladder.
Yeah.
I think it gets better.
I told
each
you,
time.
right? I
Yeah.
told you each one is
by
really
the way,
good.
this one, Momo, episode
Yeah.
4 is unbelievable.
And 2 more left.
Yeah, 2 more.
Because
Right,
it takes you inside the backstory
Yeah.
of
And
each
don't
of the
tell-
principal
don't say-
No.
characters.
Well, then
Pepe.
you should walk out because we're going to talk about clips. Seriously, if you don't want to know anything, we're going to talk about it.
Focus.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
so-
still good if you.
Yeah,
if
not
you
going
know.
to give everything away.
Yeah, so, and this won't give anything away. You just hinted towards it. This is the first episode, episode 4, where they do flashbacks.
Yes.
So you go back to see why Doc Rivers feels the way he does. What got V. Stiviano into this world? It's almost in episode in its entirety in flashback.
Yes.
A lot of Elgin Baylor in episode 4.
A lot of Elgin Baylor. Yeah, a lot of
Right.
Yeah.
action at the sanctuary parties.
Yeah.
How about
Which
them
I thought-
saying, hey, well, give me an address for
That
a
would have been
sanctuary
the day I wanted
party.
to go to the set. To go to the sanctuary. Were you
Sanctuary
there that
party.
day?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
There was a
That
lot
was-
of action there.
Okay.
The
So, Ramona, we
sanctuary
were
party.
talking earlier about how much of it is like 100% factual
Yeah.
and how much of it is just lends itself to the story. For example,
Okay.
in one of the earlier episodes, Doc Rivers says, just randomly, J.J. Redick has to have a baked potato at 4:30 every day or he can't play.
I don't know if that's real.
Right. Like,
I don't know. I'll
Right.
tell you, it might be real. I know that he was seen as this creature of habit. I know he was seen as
so that
he
may
is
just
like
be
that.
a tool to explain
Yes,
that element.
yes.
A lot of little things are real. Like there were real people, like the real Seth Burton, right? He was on set a lot, and we talked to him
Right.
a lot. So
And
most
the guy
of the things,
from Mad Men is playing
yeah,
Seth.
Rich Sommer.
Yeah.
So like all his lines are real. Everything, like I think they were on set one time, and remember he has this in episode 1. He goes, I'm Seth Burton. I like Scandinavian crime drama. Like there was just
Yeah.
like they literally called Seth and were like, tell us some random facts about yourself that you would say in a meeting like this.
Yeah.
So he goes, I like Scandinavian crime drama.
And Seth,
right.
yeah.
Seth, by the way, is now at LAFC,
Yeah.
and we see
Yeah,
him
that's
fairly
right. Saw
regularly.
him a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago. The thing I love is the deposition of Donald Sterling is so friggin' disturbingly
and-
funny.
and I'll
I
tell you-
laughed a lot.
I've told you that the top 4 characters, they nailed the casting
I know.
so well for Donald Sterling,
Yep.
for Shelley Sterling, for V. Stiviano, and of course for Doc. And the one thing, if I could only give one Emmy, and they were all in the same category, I've been saying the whole time I'd give it to Cleopatra Coleman, who plays
I
V.
know,
Stiviano.
she's so great.
Jackie Weaver
I know.
is giving her a run for her money.
I want all of them to win.
By the way, I vote for Ed O'Neill. He's
Right. I
captured
know, he's
the
so good.
weirdness
He
of
is-
Donald
tell you this,
he is
Sterling.
very,
Ramona
very
and
well.
I actually know Shelley.
Right.
Yeah.
We've met her. We've been in rooms with her.
And Jackie nails it?
Not only nails it, it's the same feeling. You saw the Fox movie Bombshell,
Yes,
right?
yes.
After 10 minutes of Bombshell, you forget you're watching
Yeah.
Charlize Theron and you're convinced you're watching Megyn Kelly. That's where I am with
Yeah.
Jackie Weaver playing Shelley.
Yeah.
I actually forget it's not Shelley. Mace, I can't tell you how much, the voice,
Yep.
the mannerisms,
Yep.
the way her tone, and it's amazing to me that this woman, Jackie Weaver, has been an actress in Australia, didn't come to Hollywood till she was in her 60s, had probably no way of knowing who Shelley Sterling was or what it was, but somebody did her homework.
Yep.
And she channels her.
Yeah, I mean,
Ramona.
I did
she's so good. It's
I know.
almost inexplicable.
The interesting thing, one of the interesting things about Jackie Weaver, I did a Q&A with her a couple of years ago, and she may be 4'11".
I'm tall. I tower
may
over
be,
her.
Yeah, she may be
I know.
4'11". She is a tiny,
Well, same as
miniature
Shelley.
person.
Yeah, Shelley
and
Sterling's
Shelley
same
too.
way.
I'll tell you
Exactly.
this, a couple things. So I do the podcast Let's Talk Clipped. It's like the reaction podcast.
Yeah.
The
The companion, right?
The companion.
Yeah, which is great by itself, too. That you should listen to that, you guys. That thing is awesome.
Ed O'Neill and Jackie Weaver are our guests next week.
Okay.
And they
Oh,
talk about
nice.
episode 5, so you're going to get a
Who's
lot
your,
of
who's your
Nice.
guest for episode 4? I haven't heard the Let's Talk
So
Clip
this
for
is the
4.
one that Clinton did. Okay.
Clinton Yates did it?
Clinton Yates did it for
Okay.
me. It was literally, we were taping the day my dad died. So
Okay,
I had to
gotcha.
call out, and
Yeah.
Clinton jumped in, and it was he did with Kelly Aucoin and Kevin Bray, the director.
Yeah.
All right, so Kelly Aucoin is the guy who plays Andy Roser. Andy is the guy who I probably dealt with when I worked
Yeah.
for the Clippers for 3
Yeah.
years. Everything. He's a very nice guy, and I think Kelly does a really good job of trying to articulate, if you were just a guy doing your job, but you were surrounded by this, behemoth of wrong,
Yeah, right.
and how
Yeah.
you would
Ugliness.
try and keep
Yeah.
the train on the track.
Yeah.
And you're Andy Rose is just trying to do his job.
Yep.
And he serves as the buffer between the weirdness of Donald Sterling and the actual team. And people are looking at him like, Andy, you got to get it together. And what you realize is it's impossible. It's
impossible.
Yeah.
You can't corral Donald Sterling. He's
and
going to eventually
here's
blow
what I
himself
think about
up.
is great about the portrayal of Andy in the show is that I know the real Andy too, and obviously I talked to him a lot during the time, and I know a lot about what happened. Andy knew the difference between right and wrong. Like, this is not a guy who is like morally compromised in a way of like, this is all okay. Like, he knew.
But he also knew who signed his checks, and he was trying to stay employed while not violating everybody else in the room.
But he also had this respect for Sterling as a businessman, and also Sterling is the guy who hired him and gave him a job for 30 years and made his career. And he has this he has a real respect for him and how he built his empire. And so there's a personal respect factor there that I think Kelly does a good job. There's a line where he says to Doc, "The man built an empire. Try to have some respect." I mean, he does feel a loyalty to him. But he also does know that what he's doing and saying is really messed up and really morally wrong. And so he really is caught. It's not just like the paycheck.
My favorite line so far in the 4 episodes so far in the whole series. I can't remember if it's in episode 1 or episode 2.
Okay, I've got one too. What's your favorite line?
When Donald Sterling brings what we used to call, when we all worked there, Club Sterling into the locker room. He brings in V, he brings in girls, he brings in everybody. And guys, great victory. Look at and they're all in towels.
Yeah.
And Doc goes, "What the F is this?" Yep. And Andy Roser walks up to him and kind of whispers, "Doc, our owner is used to a certain amount of access after games." And this is my favorite line. Doc looks at him and goes, "Well, I'm used to a certain amount of effing normal."
Yeah.
People
Get
acting
out.
effing normal.
It's good.
Get out.
Yeah.
I love that one too.
That's a good one.
Threw him out.
What's
My favorite line is, "Isn't it normal to describe a prostitute as delicious?" That was from last night's episode.
You know what? It's really funny. That deposition is all real. That's
the actual deposition?
That's the actual deposition.
Oh, my God. You've got to see
The
this
scene
deposition.
where they reenact the tape.
Oh, yeah.
Word
all
for
real.
word.
Word for word.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you're watching it, you're going, there's no way he was this bad. He was.
Oh, yeah, no, he was awful. That deposition is
So
unreal.
I had to
and
read
Shelley
that
was in
there.
that deposition.
I had to read those lines in the podcast. You remember when I had to read those?
Yes.
And it took me a couple tries, and I was like, I'm really going to say this,
Yeah.
And I liked it, and she did. You know
And
what
by
I
the
mean?
way, that to me is when Shelley's character becomes complicated.
Yes.
When she's sitting in that deposition.
Yep.
And Donald is spouting off about all the prostitutes he's been with and what he did with them. And his wife is literally right next to him. And Lisa, my wife, said to me, she goes, so she knew.
Oh, yeah.
She just didn't want to give up her life.
I will say this. Do you remember The Sopranos? Okay,
Sure.
so early on, I had this. When I was meeting with the producers from Color Force, this is the people who make the TV shows.
Right.
One of the producers, her name is Nina Jacobson. The other one is she was Nellie Reed, and she said to me, she goes, "I have this scene from The Sopranos. Do you remember when Carmela was in with the psychologist,
Lorraine Bracco, Dr. Melfi,
Dr. Melfi, and after the scene, Dr. Melfi says, "Okay, like you can never say that you don't know." Now you can never say that you don't know.
Right. She knows everything.
Like
after
you know.
that. Yeah.
Like in other words, like this,
I don't.
this sort of
'cause
complicity
in
or
her
willful
head,
ignorance.
in her head, she's like she blocks it all out.
Well, remember when
she
Meadow-
knows he's doing bad stuff, but she's blocking it out.
When Meadow comes to him at some point of The Sopranos and says, "Dad, are you in the mob?"
Yeah.
And he gets super defensive. He goes, "I am in the waste management
Right.
business."
Yes.
And then he whacks that guy when he takes Meadow to the
To go look at colleges.
To go look at colleges. Whacks
Right.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's the part with Shelley where, that's why she's a complicated character, because she does know. She, I like the scene with the housing discrimination case, and she watches the depositions. Those tapes, one of the things people ask, like, what's real and what's not real? Shelley Sterling listened to every single tape between V. Stiviano and Donald.
Right.
Because they were part of evidence. They were subpoenaed in that case as part of evidence. And for years, she would play them when she was driving in from Malibu to Beverly Hills. She listened to every single tape. So, like, in other words, this is not willful ignorance. She knows who he is. She knows what he's done. She knows all that goes into it.
And his reaction, he actually said it last night. He said, "People throw out the newspaper. People forget."
And he's not wrong.
No.
But they're not going to forget this.
No.
He doesn't realize the level
Yeah.
of trouble he's in.
Yeah, if you're not watching Clipped, it is fantastic. Even if you don't know the story, it's fantastic. And I thought episode 4 added some
by the way,
some
Ramona,
real depth.
I think
to the
you're going to
series.
get a bunch of Golden Globe nominations for this show. I think a bunch of Emmy nominations are coming for this show. I think it's that good.
Yeah,
It is. It is very good. And Mason, you know how critical I am about the casting all
I
the
do.
time.
Yeah,
But this is perfect.
Especially the big four. Yeah. The top
This is,
four
I mean,
spots.
Like I watch and I look again and again and again, and they're just perfect.
yeah. And by
for
the way,
part.
just a little Momo.
And to Pepe's point, but real quick before you go,
yeah,
had they not nailed it, it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was the critical thing to me. Like the fact that Lawrence Fishburne says he's not a basketball fan, never knew who
I know.
Doc Rivers was, and then you watch him play Doc, it's like, how?
Yeah,
Yeah, really good.
I was going to say all of the characters are well cast.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Shelley's best friend is played by Harriet Sampson
she's
Harris,
so
who's
good.
fantastic. Last night, the creepy guy at the sanctuary
he was
party
so good.
was Fred Malamud,
Yeah.
who
He's
is
like a veteran actor. It's been a
veteran
lot of
actor,
Yeah, he
stuff.
was really
good.
good.
By the way, it took her about 15 minutes to decide, I want to find a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Took her about 15 minutes, and she was in the game. And at one point, he says, "I've got a stylist. I still look like blank."
I know.
I love
know.
that line.
Like I like the one in episode 1 where the Dodger game and V says to her friend Deja, who I think is really, she's such a great character.
Yeah.
Deja, she's a composite character too of several people who are. But anyway, V says to Deja, they're at the Dodger game. She goes, Why do famous people just glow like that? And then Deja says, "It's not because they're happy."
Yeah.
When they're looking at Magic Johnson, I was like, what a lie. Or Deja says, nobody in LA says no. They just ghost and say, let's keep talking.
But it is
That's right.
It is interesting. Like that Deja character, they were really smart how they they built her storyline. At one point she goes, I hosted MTV Spring Break for 3 years in a row in South Padre Island, didn't even get to keep the bikinis.
Right.
And it shows the fact that everybody has 15 minutes of fame, and she certainly did.
Yep.
But then what do you do after that?
Yeah, what do you do after? Exactly. All right. Hey, Momo, I don't know. Do you want to hang out? Do you want to go?
I got to get home at some point.
Do you have like a gown you're going to wear on Saturday for the Mandy's?
I
Like a
have-
big, fancy gown with a train? They have trains now. And then
like I
you
would
borrow
trip.
jewelry from places.
I feel like I would trip. So I have some nice things I could wear. Should I rent the runway? Should I do it up? Should I
I
get
think
a style,
I think you can get. It's the Mandy's. I think you can get away with anything. I think if
All
you
right.
wore sweats, you'd be fine. If you got super dressed up, you'd be fine.
ESPN's most hated, Greg Bergman, is yelling at me to go to break.
I better
so we'll
win
do
though.
that.
for it.
Like seriously, like my campaign is I better win.
Okay, I think you will. I think you will. Coming up next, we'll spin the wheel of questions. We got sports graffiti coming up. Momo's hanging out. Pepe's here. 710 ESPN.
All right. Did you know it can take up to 11 weeks on average to hire for an open job? That's almost 2.5 months. If you're hiring for a growing business, you don't have that kind of time. So if you're listening today, listen to this. Start using ZipRecruiter. Right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter uses powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. Or, as Ian Siegel, the inventor of ZipRecruiter, likes to say, we don't leave anything to chance. They use that algorithm to match people with your job in mind. So if you've got a job, they'll find somebody that's got experience in that particular area and send them to you. And here's how quickly it can work. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So go to that exclusive web address. Use it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come.
.710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
All right, wheel.
Okay, you jumped there a little bit.
Sorry, I did.
What do you got, Laura?
All right, guys. So this is a weird one.
Okay.
So I love to cook, and my friend who is a neighbor of mine knows this, and he was like, "Hey, can you come and help me cook? I don't know how to cook this Mexican dish." I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." I walked in, and it stank.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it stank so bad.
Okay.
It just smelled.
From the kitchen? It was a food odor or something else?
No, he was trying to cook, right? So
Okay.
I walked in. Our kitchens are pretty much, when you walk in, it's right there.
Yep.
And I was like, dang, what's that smell? He's like, oh, you smell it? And I'm like, yeah, dude, you can't miss it. So he goes, well, I defrosted the meat 5 days ago. And I saw that he's like, I saw that it expired like a week ago, but it was in the freezer. And I'm like, you can't cook that. He goes, no, those dates are kind of suggestive, right?
Oh, dear God.
I was like,
Wow.
no, at least not to me. So
Okay.
are you the kind of person that you see if something expires the day of or right before it expires and you throw it away? Or do you wait a couple of days?
I always throw it away.
Me too.
Not only do I always throw it away, I'll throw it away if it's even near the date.
Right, near the
Really?
date scares me.
Yeah,
Like-
past the date is
like-
not even a
Like
debate.
the milk, even like if it's the day before the date, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna.
Now, are you the same? Here's the one thing where I'm not.
Yeah.
Medicine. If
Yeah,
I
same.
open a medicine
Yeah,
cabinet
no,
and it
it's
says
okay.
this expired in May,
Yeah,
I'd be it's May.
You
Too
know
much
what?
time. Give it to me.
I'm a little more brave than you guys.
yeah.
With the food?
I'll go for it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
you got to
it's just a
smell
couple
it
days.
first.
You know,
Yeah,
kind of
you
depends on
do
what it is,
your own
though.
personal
It
smell
depends.
test.
Pepe, what about you?
It really depends on sell by or best buy.
Yes.
I
If
throw, I
it's
throw
sell
it
by.
away. I
No.
throw it away right away, and even probably one day before.
Oh,
Really?
you high
Yeah.
rollers.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I go
medicine
for it a little
medicine
bit.
is a different story.
There's something there, like for example, there's an expiration date on ketchup. Have you
Yes.
ever
Not for
seen?
Michael.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not for. But if you look at the ketchup bottle, it'll say by such and such
If
date.
it's sell by date, I don't mind because that's just in the store. Sell it in the
I
store
don't
by that
trust
date.
it.
If
I
it's
don't trust
best buy,
No.
then that means get rid of it.
Or you freeze
even
it.
even candy have an expiration.
Nah,
Candy
candy's
expires.
fine.
No,
Candy's
candy does not. If there were no,
M&Ms they have a date.
no way. M&Ms do not have
Yeah,
an
they do.
expiration
I
date.
think they do. I
No,
think
they
you're
don't.
right.
They're
That's
They
chocolate.
do.
I'm gonna
Okay.
Google
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And my
They
grandma's
do.
house.
I guarantee you that they do.
Okay,
Okay.
we're
Well, I mean,
googling.
it
So
You
makes
we're gonna
always
know.
you
Do-
never believe me.
I do believe you.
No, you don't because you're
I
checking
do believe
that.
you when you agree with
Do
me.
M&Ms have an expiration date?
Yeah, that's what I just put in. How can I find
Okay.
the expiration? Store candy, dry as cool.
Yes, M&Ms have an expiration
I
date.
told you it has an
But
expiration.
it's
No, you didn't.
Pepe, you didn't
That's
let
what
me
I
finish.
just said.
Pepe, you didn't let me finish. But
But.
it's generally okay to eat them past that date as long as they've been stored properly and remain
Okay.
unopened.
Okay.
But
What
they
is
do
past
have
that
an
date?
expiration date.
Listen.
Everything does.
Okay.
Makeup does.
All right.
Twinkies don't.
Let me give you a.
Of course not. They'll be after a nuclear holocaust.
Let me give you some scenarios. You tell me eat it or toss it.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. You go through your travel bag and find a candy bar that has been in there for an unknown length of time.
Toss it.
Toss.
Yeah, I
Toss
toss
it.
that.
Toss
I
it.
toss that. Yeah.
You open the fridge and find some leftovers from last weekend that are still
From last weekend?
Yeah. So like, let's say it's
Well, it's
Wednesday.
only-
Give me what the leftover is.
Let's just go with Chinese food.
Toss it.
Toss it.
Yeah, no, that's
Right
a little
away.
old for Chinese
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
Toss it.
How about pizza? How long would you let pizza sit in the
One
fridge?
pizza,
Wow.
3 days. No, 3 days and pizza's out.
Yeah.
3 days?
If you have
can
pizza on
freeze it.
Saturday night and you throw it in the fridge and you haven't eaten it by Wednesday, you got to chuck it.
By Wednesday, okay.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
I give pizza a full week.
No, you don't give pizza. No, I
give
don't
it a
give
week, too.
anything a full
Yeah.
week.
As long as I microwave,
Now,
it's
remember
gonna
we
kill
were in
everything.
college? You didn't even pay attention in these
Oh my
days.
God! Yeah,
No,
we
we're
didn't look at any stuff
different
like this.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, you open up your travel bag and find some cough drops that have been in there. For
Yeah,
an
no,
unknown
cough
length of
drops.
time.
To me, cough drops are fine. They're
5
just
years?
lozenges.
Could
yeah.
be in there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have some that have been
Yeah,
in there
cough
for
drops,
5
I
years.
think,
And
are
you still
okay.
go for it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
All right. Bergman says that we got a break or we're going to miss sports graffiti.
Okay, we're gonna do sports graffiti.
All right.
Hey, I wanted to show Bergman. how
Momo,
to
are
do-
you leaving or going?
Yeah, I'll go.
I want
Okay.
to show Bergman how to do something. Mandy's 3 is this Saturday night at Commerce Casino. Biggest 710 party of the year. Tickets sold out. Keep on listening for your chance to win. Special thanks to Children's Dental Fun Zone for presenting the Best Smile Award this year. Children's Dental Fun Zone. We treat your kids as our own. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It's Evan Cohen, unsportsmanlike.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN. Coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans. Major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come.
Midweek, USC is back on 710, and Cappy's got a new deal. What will tomorrow bring? Be listening at 10 a.m. for major announcement number 3, and then at 1:30 p.m. to this show, Mason and Ireland, for a very special guest. That's tomorrow. Right now, though, more of Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon on 710.
You know what I told the powers that be? What I said about Cappy?
Pay that man his money.
Cappy will continue at 710 ESPN. They finally got that deal done. Finally, are you excited about that, Ireland?
Well, I thought it would get done the whole time.
Yeah.
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 What? Hey, how come we're not doing an announcement today?
I don't know. I don't know.
The next announcement is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Originally, I thought we were doing that meeting that you very wisely skipped.
Yes.
They said there was They said there was an announcement every day this week.
Bergman?
He's not here.
Come on. Okay.
No, today is Juneteenth, so we gave it a day.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, because it's Juneteenth. That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. So, radio graffiti, sports graffiti. This is the deal where you call in 877-710-ESPN. Think up 15, 20 seconds of whatever you want. It can be about the Lakers head coaching job. It could be, we haven't mentioned it, but the Dodgers' unbelievable
we
win
got to
last
get into
night.
that.
We're going to definitely get into that. They score 7 in the ninth to beat Colorado. We'll get to that. But whatever you got is totally fair game. 877-710-ESPN. Let's start with Jerry. Jerry, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, you guys were talking about whether anybody uses a scrubber or their hand to wash their body.
Yes.
Okay, I'm 61 years old. I was in the... Okay, if you don't have one of those nylon scrubbers to wash your body, you're not doing it right. Okay, so they taught me that you got your stinky parts, you got your normal parts, and you got your dirty parts. Your dirty parts are your elbows, your hands, your feet, your knees, and your face.
Okay.
Your stinky part is your underarms, your feet, your junk. You don't use a scrubber on your junk, but to have one of those nylon scrubbers, okay, you wash your body to take the dirt off. The dirt doesn't come off just by getting
Jerry,
wet.
can I tell you something? Jerry, you're 61. I'm 60. I've never used one of those nylon scrubbers, and I am a clean freak.
You are.
I take 2 to 3 showers a day. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, Jerry actually put me in the mood for a shower.
loofah.
Apparently, I've been doing it all wrong.
A loofah.
Well, there's a loofah in my shower, but it's for Lisa. I never touch it.
I don't use a loofah.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
what do you need a loofah
Hey,
for?
you need an loofah when you're going to have surgery.
Okay.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, when next surgery, I will
remember that.
Let's go to Kenneth. Kenneth, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Kenneth.
Hey, guys. Today is a hard day for me. I mean, growing up, I'm around the same age as you guys, and Willie Mays was my favorite athlete. I'm a football fan now, but growing up, it was always baseball, and Willie Mays was the greatest thing I've seen. I remember they even had a cartoon for Willie Mays. That's just how great that dude was. And I'm really going to miss him.
Yeah, Kenneth, no weakness in that dude's game.
No.
Won batting titles, won home run titles, won Gold Gloves. He led
I think he was a 24-time All-Star.
He led the league in stolen bases 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
Greatest player, or at least one of the greatest players that ever played baseball.
there are a lot of people, Pepe, think he's number 1.
Yeah, me too.
So, huge loss for baseball.
Let's go to Mitch. Mitch, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Mitch.
Hey there, guys. Willie Mays plays the best position in any sport, center field. Great for power, did everything. Too bad he missed those 2 years. Him and Willie McCovey, great pairing. I think the best ever. And it's too bad Ken Griffey and Mike Trout couldn't stay healthy. They would have been the next one. Thanks for taking
Okay, thanks. Yeah, Mike Trout could have been one of the great. I mean, he's just not going to be. He had an unbelievable start to his career, but he's all broken down. Now let's go to Adam. Adam, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Adam.
It's a disgrace that Pepe Montilla was not on the ballot for Mandy's 3. He easily had the best drops all year and went to all the remotes. You know what? Screw Morales. You know what? I'm going to show up at Mandy's 3 with a Morales bobblehead, and I'm going to smash it all to pieces.
Adam, make sure I'm around when you do that.
Do it. We'll actually give us the hammer, too. I'd like to get a whack at that thing. Let's go to Portia. Portia's on line 6. Hey, Portia, you're on 710. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say I love you guys' show, and John Ireland, I can't wait until you come on my show. Laker Girl 36 on YouTube.
All right, well, send me a tweet. Let me go. Let's get it going.
Laker Girl 36 on YouTube.
Yeah, she needs to send me your info, and we'll set it up.
Okay, let's go to Justin. Justin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Justin.
Hey, guys, 2 things. First, John, 2 to 3 showers a day, really? That's not going to help with the California water shortage.
Yeah, don't care.
Oh, that is true.
Absolutely do not
I
care.
know you don't.
I'm one of those guys that, and by the way, this will even make me worse, Justin. I take long showers. I take like 15-minute showers.
Do you have one of those tankless water heaters?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
Major necessity.
Oh, wow.
Those are nice, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom gives me a hard time for taking one long shower.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
second, so you were talking about leftover pizza.
Yeah,
If
3
you have a
days.
toaster or convection. Yeah. I give it a week, maybe even a week and a half. If you have a toaster or a convection oven, you pop a couple of those slices in a toaster oven for like maybe 5 minutes or so. It tastes just as fresh as almost.
There you go. Okay, Justin, I will try that.
Good tip,
I have a
Justin.
toaster oven. I've
Do
never
you?
put pizza. I just put it in the microwave.
You know what I want? Do you have an air fryer?
Yeah, but I never use it.
Yeah, I heard an air fryer is really good to use. I don't have
one.
You don't have one? I heard
Oh
it's
my God,
like you
get
put
one.
vegetables in there and they
Put
become like
anything in there.
crispy.
You can make
You like 'em?
bomb
Oh, yeah, that's
steak.
great.
Steak.
I don't have one.
Steak.
In an air fryer?
Juicy steak.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going to show you guys
It's a
what I
mini
did for
oven.
New Year's. I'm going
Okay.
to show you.
I don't want fried steak.
It's not fried, bro. Let me show you how it is.
Air
Okay,
fried
you
steak.
show us.
I'ma
You show
show
us.
you.
Let me get a couple
I'm
more.
particularly interested
You're going to
in-
have to show your friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
The guy with the stinky food.
Yeah, right. Let's go to Jim. Jim, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Jim.
Yeah, on Crosstalk, you were talking about ennui, a French term. I was kind of half listening, and I thought you were talking about Mace, you being ennui. And I was thinking, well, that's certainly not breaking news.
Right.
Anyway, I don't have enough at bats this year, but next year, be listening for Jim from Hawthorne for Caller of the Year. I'm going to try to do the Wes Unseld Rookie of the Year and MVP.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it, Jim.
Very
I
good.
like your
All right.
confidence.
How do you spell ennui?
ENNUI.
UI. Now,
And what does it mean?
I don't know.
Feeling of weariness and dissatisfaction. That does not describe me.
Yeah, it does.
No, it does. I don't. I'm not a dissatisfied guy. Screw you guys. I love my life. What are you talking about?
You do have a great life.
Oh, okay. everybody's-
Bring the violins, please.
Yeah. All right. Screw your ennui.
Focus.
Yeah, focus is right. All right, there's your sports graffiti for today. So, Pepe, what do you do all summer? By the way, Pepe's wearing a super cool T-shirt. It's all the Jokers, from Nicholson all the way down to Cesar Romero, who
That's
was
right.
from the Batman TV series.
That is right.
And you always come in here wearing cool vintage kind of T-shirts.
I have a lot of T-shirts.
Now, do you order these off the Amazon, or where do you get them?
Some of them I do, and others I just get when I go to concerts or things like that. I love to have T-shirts.
Pepe did not like. I thought Bad Boys Ride or Die was really funny. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Ride or Die. I thought it was really funny. Martin Lawrence makes me laugh a lot. Pepe didn't like it.
Can I tell you guys something and tell me if I'm the only one that feels this way?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of over Will Smith. And I've liked him. I've liked him as Local. Hitch is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I like that one. And
but
Bagger
I just,
Dance.
after he walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock in the face with almost zero repercussions, I'm like, yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. I'm just over him.
Yeah, his movie's done $218 million.
Well, I know I'm in the minority. Matter of fact, this is something that I have had trouble doing. Mace, you're better at this than I am, separating artists from art. Like, Greg's kind of one foot in my camp, 1 foot in yours. Like, he won't watch Mel Gibson anymore.
Right.
No.
But you can kind of separate.
Yeah.
Like, you could watch Kevin Spacey movies.
No,
I know.
actually, Kevin Spacey creeps me out. There's a documentary that just totally creeps me out.
So wait a minute. So you would not, like, if it came up, you wouldn't watch American Beauty or Swimming with Sharks?
Gods. I probably would not.
Or the
And it
usual,
ruined
or the
Usual
usual
Suspects for me.
Right. Well, Usual Suspects is one of your favorite movies
It
of all time.
It ruined it for me.
So you're in my camp a little bit.
Yeah, but celebrities are weird. They do weird stuff. Like,
of course.
This Will Smith thing. I mean, Justin Timberlake, are we not going to buy his next record because he got a DUI? No,
that's
record,
a different
Laura,
story.
did you send me a note today saying he's going to fight that?
So his attorney is saying that they're going to fight it. I don't know how you can do that, but I think they're just trying to spin the narrative.
Right. He refused to take a breathalyzer, which Jacob said yesterday is what you
It's
should
a smart
do.
thing, yeah.
But the picture itself looks incriminating.
Yeah.
His eyes look bloodshot.
His eyes are glassy and all that stuff.
And I don't think fighting it is necessarily the smartest move.
Ooh, I have no news for you.
What is it?
I got my tickets for the Eagles.
At the Sphere.
At the Sphere.
Have you been to the Sphere?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Mark
probably
Shaw really
super
wants to go to
expensive,
that.
right?
Yeah. Did you get them? I won't. Well, do you mind telling me what you paid for them?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I think
Can
they're.
we guess?
Yeah, they're over $1,000 each, right?
But I wasn't going to miss it.
Yeah, but
I
you got to
definitely
be
wanna
willing
see
to.
'em.
You got to be willing to pay.
Yeah, I'm just looking as a sample. Looks like the get-in price.
I
No,
thought
the
I-
get-in price is $224. You may not have a great seat, but the get-in price, at least for this particular date, is $224.
I thought about you guys when I was punching together.
I'll tell you what to do. There's this app called Game Time.
Okay.
And when we were in Vegas, Billy Mack and I went and saw U2 at the Sphere in like preseason, so October.
Yeah, right. When you were there for the launch of the season.
So we go back for the in-season tournament.
Right.
And I said, just for fun, because we were staying right next to the Sphere.
Right.
I said, just for fun, U2's going on stage in about an hour. I'm going to go on the Game Time app and see what it would cost me for just buy one ticket if I want to just go over there by myself and see it again. And you have to be quick, but on several occasions, like 5 or 6 times, tickets came in for under $200.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a different story because U2 was there for a long time.
Right.
And the Eagles are right now, they only announced like 8 concerts.
Okay.
Oh, that's all they've got so far.
I saw him last year at the Forum. You're going to love it.
I seen it. I seen him like 20 times.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay. Tell you what, coming up next for you, Bergman's got a list of some guys' 20 best NBA players right now. We'll do that. Plus,
And let's play the Vin Scully thing.
And plus, Vin Scully on Willie Mays. We'll do that coming up next for you. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, time to talk about Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota and the Lakers have been in business together for 48 years. And year after year, Toyota delivers quality, reliability, and simply the best vehicles on the road. Right now, brand new inventory waiting for you. Choose from an amazing selection of cars, trucks, crossovers, SUVs, EVs. Great deals waiting for you right now. All you got to do is see your Southern California Toyota dealers or visit Toyota.com. Toyota, we make it easy.
June.
$710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN. Coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans. On LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
Commemorate what this day means in this country. Don't forget, we've had 2 major announcements so far this week on Major Announcement Week. USC is back on 710, and Cappy's got a new deal. What will tomorrow bring? Be listening at 10 a.m. for Major Announcement number 3, and then at 1:30 p.m. to this show, Mason and Ireland, for a very special guest. That's tomorrow. Right now, though, more of Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon on 710.
They don't tell us anything. What is happening? Why do we not know what's happening, Bergman?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
God. Can you believe
Till
this?
tomorrow.
Yeah,
you can find out tomorrow with everybody else at 10 a.m.
Tomorrow
and at
morning.
1:30 on this show. A very, very important guest.
Okay. So
You allowed a guest to come on this show? You're softening.
I think you are just completely misconstruing me.
Of
at all
course I am. Yeah. How many guests have you know?
When was the last time?
When's
we've
the
done
last
this
time we had a
million times.
guest?
We've had guests on like every
Get
day.
Ed O'Neill.
I can
Get
try
Jackie Weaver.
Okay, I will try to get one of those too.
Get Cleopatra Coleman.
Okay.
Get any of the big four. You get Lawrence Fishburne, Cleopatra Coleman, Jackie Weaver, Ed O'Neill. That's a big win for you.
Hey, Momo. Can you help me out?
Exactly.
Dear Momo. All right, so the great Willie Mays passed away yesterday.
So it's difficult. Pepe, I'm glad you're here because you're older than us and you can lend some perspective to this, but it's difficult to explain to younger people just how great of a player Willie Mays was. He was the fastest player on the field. He was the best defensive player. He was the best offensive player. He won batting titles. He won gold gloves. He won stolen base. He did not have a weakness. And so I was trying to figure out a way, how can we explain to younger members of our audience just how great this guy was? And then I thought, this is where we would always turn to Vin Scully, because Vin Scully would always know what to say. And Vin died in 2022 when he's 94.
Mm-hmm.
Willie died yesterday when he's 93. So they're roughly the same age. And Vin saw Willie play in person his whole career. So somebody sent this clip that Vin, on Willie's birthday a few years ago, to wish him a happy birthday, told this story on a Dodger telecast. It runs a little more than a minute, but I think it's worth it. Here's Vin Scully explaining just how great Willie Mays really was.
Without a doubt, the number one, the greatest player I ever saw was Willie Mays. I was also privileged to see Willie make the greatest catch of his career, and he agrees with me that it was. No, not the catch in the World Series against Vic Wertz in Cleveland. I'm talking a Dodger-Giant game in Ebbets Field. Dodgers trailing by a run, bases loaded, and 2 out. We had a young third baseman out of Oklahoma by the name of Bobby Morgan. And Morgan hit a line drive into left center. As soon as the ball left the bat, you knew it was an extra base hit. Everybody knew that except Willie. And Willie, running as hard as he can, left his feet parallel like an arrow going through the air and caught the ball. But that was only part of it. In those days, certainly at Ebbets Field, we had a gravel warning track. So Willie, going head first, hit that gravel and then bounced and head first into the concrete wall. And he was not wearing a helmet. They didn't wear helmets in those days. He hit the concrete wall, rolled over on his back. The left fielder was a fellow named Henry Thompson for the Giants. Henry came over, bent down. There was Willie, unconscious, holding the ball on his chest. Henry reached down, took the ball, and held it up to the umpires. Out for Bobby Morgan. That was the greatest single play I've ever seen. So I've been fortunate to watch you play all those years, Willie. And I must tell you, not only are you the greatest, but Buck, happy birthday, and I will never forget you.
Oh.
And Vin, think about this. All the great Dodgers.
Yep.
Vin called Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale. The guy, he had so much respect for Willie Mays that Willie is the guy who Vin says is the best player he ever saw. And he played for their arch rival.
By the way, and I was surprised that I fully expected the Vic Wertz catch to be the one they talk. The Vic Wertz catch they're showing on all the sports centers and stuff. It is
1954.
Yeah, were you there?
I saw it on TV.
You saw it on TV?
Yeah.
It's an amazing catch. An amazing catch.
But just listening to Vince, how he explains everything,
right?
It's just like
world's greatest storyteller.
It's like music.
My God.
It's like music.
Yeah, and but so for a large population of baseball fans, losing Willie Mays yesterday was the end of the best player they ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly people that are older, Pepe, will tell you there was just and this is no slight against Hank Aaron or Ted Williams or Joe DiMaggio or any of them, but they said Willie was better because he did everything right and he had no weakness.
It was a pleasure watching him play because he really was. You know, they talk about the 5 tools and all that.
Yeah,
he had 5+.
Yeah,
really,
he was the best at all 5 things.
That's right.
By the way, did you watch? Either one of you guys watch the end of the Dodger game last night?
Oh my God!
It was the weirdest game I've seen in probably 10 years. First of all, so I turn it on late, but it's Coors Field, and the Dodgers are losing 9-4. And I saw on Twitter that Shohei had hit a 465-foot home run, longest home run in the major leagues this year. So, Greg, I turned it on just in time to see him come up in the 8th. And I thought he won the game for the Dodgers in the 8th.
Yeah, it was going to tie the game, or it was down by 1. They were down by 4.
I think the bases were loaded, the runners on, and he had a shot to the gap.
Yeah, it was 2 on, a shot to the gap. It was 111 miles off the bat. And Brenton Doyle is the center fielder for the Rockies. He made this amazing diving catch.
And you figure, okay, not the Dodgers' night.
Exactly.
So they get to the 9th. And I was wondering if you guys were thinking the same thing I was thinking. The Dodgers load the bases. They're down 9-4. And Jason Hayward's up with 1 out. And Greg, I almost texted you because I said, this is going to sound crazy, but you have to keep him out of the double play. He can't. Shohei is on deck. We got to get Shohei to the plate. He already hit a 465-foot home run. He almost won the game for him in the 8th. I would almost tell Hayward, take. If you get to a 3-2 count, take. If you strike out, that gets Shohei to the plate. Maybe it's a grand slam.
Right.
I totally ignored the fact that Hayward could hit a grand slam.
He has so much power, by the way.
And so they throw 3 sliders in a row to Hayward, and he fouls the first 2 off. And then the third one is right down the middle. And Hayward just golfs it over the right field fence. So now it's 9-8.
Yep.
But the bases are empty. And there's
you think they're running that's
right,
yeah.
And then
top of the order,
home runs can be rally killers.
Okay,
in a
so
weird way.
this is why this game was so weird. So then, I can't remember if it was before or after, but Will Smith comes up, tries to call timeout, and the ump doesn't give it to him, and he takes a called third strike while he's stepping out of the box. So again,
so weird.
I've never seen that before. Again, you think, okay, not the Dodgers' night. Then they put 2 guys. Shohei gets a single. Somebody else, they walk Freddie Freeman because they threw a wild pitch. Shohei goes to second, and I thought, that just takes the bat out of Freddie's hands.
Yep.
So they walk Freddie intentionally. They're still losing 9-8, and they're 2 outs. And Teoscar Hernandez comes up, and they get 2 strikes on him, and he check swings. And I could have sworn he swung. Matter of fact, if I was the umpire,
100% he swung.
I would have called it.
He was out.
Bro,
And
that was the last
I
out
thought
of
he
the game.
was out.
Yeah.
And I think maybe what entered into it was the crew chief was the first base umpire, and he probably didn't want to end the game on a check swing. He probably said, if I'm going to ring him up on a check swing, I better be 100% sure.
But weren't you 100% sure? I was 100% sure.
I was
looking at
when he swung it from the front. I was like, "That's."
But after the game, Jay Hare thought that's one of those calls. Jerry Harrison, who does Spectrum Sports in LA, said it's one of those calls that if it would have gone the other way, you wouldn't have complained either. He said, he goes, once they made the call, it was new.
He also had blue and white glasses on.
Very next pitch,
Yep.
Hernandez hits it out, and the Dodgers go up 11-9. It's the first time in 95 years they came back from 5 runs down in the 9th to win a game in 9 innings.
Yep.
Super wild, weird game. And Karros kept saying, Eric Karros, my buddy, was working the game. And
Karros.
he said this, he goes, something weird is happening here. He goes, this game has just got. Steven Nelson likes to say, we just need weird.
Right.
And they got it.
Although I will say this, there were a couple other takeaways from the game, Bergman. One was, Walker Buehler.
Yeah, well, Walker Buehler
gave up 4 runs
Walker
in the
Buehler.
first inning.
Yeah,
Dunzo, and he's gonna be now. He's already talking about how they're gonna give him a rest for a month or a couple weeks.
They're gonna.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going down.
By the way,
down.
Kershaw pitched last night in Rancho.
No, it's
Cucamonga.
tonight.
Today.
Oh, is it tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight.
But the one thing that I thought about the game yesterday is how beautiful is baseball. Really, think about it. How beautiful is baseball? I mean, you could say, I'm not going to watch anymore. And then what happens?
Yep.
What John just described.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the sport.
And you know what's do you think, Bergman, there's a carryover? In other words, do you think this is one of those signature wins where they get a burst out of it?
They very well could. Like the Rockies the night before, they started hitting up J.P. Fireeisen, and then they went nuts off of Walker Buehler. So it can happen where it carries over. One really cool stat about that last night, too.
Mm-hmm.
So Miguel Rojas got a hit when they were down 9-4. At that time, the Dodgers were 20-0 when Miguel Rojas gets a hit. It was completely in jeopardy. They came back to one. He's now 20. The Dodgers are 21-0 when Miguel Rojas gets a hit. That's just the craziest thing.
That is weird.
That's very, very weird.
They lost that game like 3 times last night, and then somehow came back and won.
I love to see the Oscar. Every time he gets there, you expect something from him. How many homers does he have?
17, 18?
He has.
That was
17,
19, right?
19?
Nobody.
Was that his 17th or his 19th? The one he hit last
Give me
night.
1 second.
I know Shohei has 20.
He has 18.
He has 18.
So,
Okay.
And
so
54
at the
RBIs.
beginning of the season, nobody was talking about him.
Right.
They were talking about the other guys.
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers get this guy. I mean, it's like a bonus, really.
Yeah, it is.
But, you know,
It
something else
is.
happened in that game. The umpires, I have no idea why they don't institute the robot strike zone.
Well, you know, they just added it now to AAA.
There were 4 calls in the night, 2 against the Dodgers, 2 against the
They are
Rockies. that were
inching
not,
their way towards it. I think it won't be 2025. I think it'll be 2026.
There was one pitch the Dodgers threw that was 4 inches off
I
the
know.
strike zone,
It
and the
was
guy
so
called it a
inconsistent.
strike.
So inconsistent.
And Greg, you went to the game and you were sitting behind the plate that time that you went with Cappy.
Oh, yeah, with Cappy, yeah.
And yet you can tell when you sit behind the plate, you can tell better the strike zone, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it a lot.
That happened to me on Sunday. Remember I told you I was going to the game?
Right.
You were
I
behind the plate?
I was behind the plate, but a little bit high.
Yep.
And it's true, you know. Sometimes you see this as that's a ball, and then the umpire goes strike, and you said, why?
Why? Exactly. All right, coming up next for you, Bergman's got a list of some guys' 20 best players in the NBA. Let's see how it matches with ours. Just some guy, John. Just some guy. Random dude. In the meantime, hey, Saturday, Mandy's are at Commerce Casino and Hotel. There is nowhere that we would have the Mandy's 3 except at Commerce Casino. It is elite as a venue for our night, and the Commerce Casino and Hotel has the largest poker room in the world with the best poker action in Southern California. So there's always a seat for you at Commerce, maybe even right after the Mandy Awards. The poker action never ends at Commerce, which is why this year alone, the Commerce Casino will pay out over $20 million in jackpots. And don't sleep on really great food, great hotel rooms, great daily tournaments, great professional staff. I mean, it's the Commerce Casino and Hotel is the spot. They're located 6131 Telegraph Road in Commerce. And for more information and a calendar of events, visit commercecasino.com. That's commercecasino.com. See everybody at the Commerce Saturday night for Mandy's 3. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come.
Mystery.
In this country, don't forget, we've had 2 major announcements so far this week on Major Announcement Week. USC is back on 710, and Cappy's got a new deal. What will tomorrow bring? Be listening at 10 a.m. for Major Announcement number 3, and then at 1:30 p.m. to this show, Mason and Ireland, for a very special guest. That's tomorrow. Right now, though, more of Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon on 710.
It's no fluke. They'll be with
Nice. In honor of the great Willie Mays. So Ireland, Pepe Bergman found. Who's this list from?
You might know him, John. Sam Quinn from CBS.
I don't.
Okay.
But you know what's interesting about these are all NBA players?
Yeah. Right.
Let's do an experiment here. Let's
Yeah.
pretend we're having a draft and we're starting a team and we can take anybody we want. Okay.
Interesting.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll take Jokic. Mace, who do you want? You get the second pick.
I'll take Luka.
Pepe, you get third pick. Who do you
I'll
want?
take Brown.
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 Wow. Okay. Well, Greg, who do you want?
I'll take Giannis if he's just sitting
Right.
there.
Laura?
Who am I taking? I don't know. I wanted.
I think
Luka.
most people would take Embiid, but
Okay, sure.
But here's my point. Pepe didn't go with it, but most people, the first 5 players that would get picked, would be in some order: Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, SGA, Luka.
Right.
What do those 5 players have in common?
European.
International.
Yep.
Yeah.
No Americans.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So did this guy have any Americans in his top 5?
In his top 5, Tatum.
What number?
5.
Yeah.
So,
who are the
it
top
starts
4?
off. It goes Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA, Tatum.
And,
And
that's
then-
pretty
and then
amazing
Embiid.
for a game that is uniquely American.
American, yeah.
And by the way, if you look at the Canadian Olympic team,
Oh, the Canadian
they're
Olympic
really
team's
good.
pretty good. You were going through the roster today.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The days of us winning every Olympic game by 50 are over.
Yeah, we're only going to win by 30.
Yeah, no, I've been talking about that a lot because what you mentioned about the foreigners that
Yeah.
play, because it's the global thing now.
Yeah.
Remember, this didn't start yesterday. It started a long time ago. Wemby is going to be number 1 pretty soon.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the best player in the league within 2 years.
There we go. And then, talking about Luka could be the best player in the league if he was to get better in the physical aspect.
Yeah, it's interesting, Pepe, that you bring that up. Charles Barkley tells a story all the time that when he got out of college, when he got out of Auburn, he was overweight. He weighed almost 300 pounds. But he was a great player, and he could rebound, and he could score. And he said that Moses Malone came to him and said, "You're too fat, man. You got to lose weight. You got to." And he goes, "If you don't, you're just going to be a guy. You want to be an elite player. You got to slim down and get in shape." Somebody needs to say that to Luka. I don't know who he would listen to, but somebody needs to tell that to Luka.
But they're telling him now because remember, after he was thrown out because of the 6 fouls, the next game he played better. He played better defense. He didn't
more under
complain.
control.
He didn't complain and all that. So now I agree with you. Somebody has to tell him, the offseason, take your vacation and all that, and then get into the gym like everybody else does.
Yeah, but it's interesting that other than the NFL, where I think the top 50 players will all be American.
Yeah.
Baseball's got some unbelievable
Sure they
international
do.
stars.
Yep.
NBA now, top 5 players arguably are all foreign.
Yep.
Hockey, most of those guys are not American. We do sports better than any country in the world.
Yeah.
Our leagues are the most successful, the most profitable, the most fun to watch, the best competition. But the world now has come to us.
Right.
They've all caught up.
Although, the Canadian Olympic, they've got SGA and they got Jamal Murray. But beyond that,
they got Andrew Wiggins. They got Dylan Brooks.
Lou Dort.
Yeah, Lou
Kelly
Dort's really
Olynyk,
good.
Zach Edey.
Yeah,
Trey
he's gonna play
Lyles.
center.
The only problem is going to be who's going to play center.
Well, they could play Zach Edey there. By the
Zach
way,
Edey, they could play
By
there.
the way, guys, Zach Edey, this is interesting. For people who don't know, Zach Edey is a Canadian center out of Purdue. He led Purdue to the national championship game this year. He's not a lock to be a great NBA player, but he looks like he can play in the NBA. He's going to be most likely on the board at 17 if the Lakers don't trade their pick.
That's interesting.
That's
And that would allow Anthony Davis to move back to the 4.
Exactly. Okay. So we'll get to that at 3 o'clock. In the meantime, we're going to do some What's Up, Fool. Bergman's got stuff. Brian's got stuff. Laura's got stuff. It's Mandy's Week on 710 ESPN.
All right, earlier in the show, we were talking about how long you should keep food before you throw it out. The easiest solution to this is to buy a bunch of BB-Go. BB-Go is the official game day snack of the Lakers. Mouth-watering Korean snacks and meals in minutes. You can throw this stuff in the freezer and then just grab it whenever you're ready. It doesn't go bad. So you can keep your freezer stocked with BB-Go for a delicious meal in minutes. It's Korea's #1 food brand. It's making the whole world more delicious. They like to say minimum effort, maximum flavor. Available at all major grocery stores in the freezer aisle. I get mine at Ralph's, but you can get them in any major grocery store. BB-Go Mandu are the largest, juiciest dumplings in the market. So if you don't know where to start, that's a good place. Mandu, the big dumplings, are what you want to try first. Every day is the day to live delicious with BB-Go, the official game day snack of the Lakers.
Major announcement number 2. Well, with 10 days to spare on his current contract, after months of tireless negotiating, Cappy finally did the right thing and signed the deal. Congratulations to Cappy on a new multi-year contract that will keep him on the LA Afternoon Drive takeover for years to come. at 1 p.m.
And yes, it's around 2:45 in the Southland. You know what we do each weekday at 2:45. What's up, fool? And we've been very excited that What's Up, Fool is made possible by our friends at Dos Hombres. In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. All right, so Paul George his contract is coming up, and he can go pretty much wherever he wants if he decides to opt out of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Windhorst thinks that the Clippers are going to play a little bit of a hardball with him, saying that if you get to July 1st and the Clippers have done, they're going to play hardball, and that's when you know he's truly going to be in the market. I suspect the Clippers' read, at least on June 17th, is that they're calling his bluff. They don't actually think he's going to leave his hometown of LA to go to Philly or Orlando or something like that. Is this smart by the Clippers to call Paul George's bluff?
No, it's stupid. I mean, Steve Ballmer has that money in his couch cushions. Why?
I don't know why they're grinding Paul George.
Yeah, I mean, you want to grind somebody else. I mean, Paul George has been your most reliable player. If you lose him, you're just back to square one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't get it. I mean, the guy's got so much money. Why would you not spend it here?
do you get what they're doing?
No, I don't get it because he very well could
But
go
according to Eric
Philly.
Pincus, they're the model organization in the NBA. I'm sure they'll get it right.
Well, I think that they should give him the money and don't play or don't be bluffing with him because he will go to Philadelphia because
Right.
he's tired of being in the Clippers.
Can you imagine him in Dallas with Luka
Right.
and,
Oh, wow,
and
yeah.
Kyrie?
Sure.
I mean, he would be. Tons of teams would love to have him.
Would you go back to OKC, play with SGA?
I don't know, but I mean, I can't think of a team not wanting him if you have the cap space.
So
I
the
mean,
thought is Orlando or Philly.
Philly would be. I mean, that would. So you would have Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid all on the same team.
Right.
You know, they would be absolutely loaded. I don't think the Clippers should play chicken with Paul George.
Especially because he's a very good defender, and you don't have many players like that in the league.
Yeah, he's a two-way player. It seems weird to me that that's the guy they're jerking around.
Yeah, it does not make sense.
If they do that, Greg.
What's up, Foo?
All right, guys, we're about 10 days away here from the 2024 X Games.
Okay.
Nice. And
That's still a thing?
It is still a thing.
Wow.
I think Brandon Graham still is doing that.
I think he is.
I think he's still one of the announcers for that.
Okay, yeah. So last weekend they had some qualifying events, and in skateboarding, a 9-year-old Ima Kawaiima from
She's 9?
9 years old from Japan did 3 900s in a row in skateboarding, the trick Tony Hawk made famous years ago. Never been done before. Three consecutive.
And this person is 9.
9. And so by doing this, they just qualified to make the actual X Games. And the youngest winner ever has been 10 years old. So if she ends up going on to win, they'll take the new trophy.
She'll be the youngest.
Right. But my question here too, if you've been training for the X Games for 10 years, a lot of these skaters are like in the age of like 16 to 22.
Yep. Right.
And you see the 9-year-old kid come up and just wipes the floor with you. How does that make you feel?
Well, this is how I remember when Boris Becker showed up at Wimbledon when he was 16 and just rolled everybody.
Yeah, I mean, generations get replaced with more talent.
The thing
9
that
years
struck me
old
about
is
it,
crazy.
A 900 is basically you're flipping your body into a 360 3 times, right?
Right, yes.
And that's kind of dangerous for a 9-year-old.
But it's probably easier for a 9-year-old.
Right, it would because they're smaller.
They're
but,
smaller, so
but I'm
it'd be
trying to think of
easier
the
to-
first time that in Japan where this 9-year-old did this. Like,
Tried
if
it.
you're her dad, you're just like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 in a row, consecutive.
3 in a row is amazing.
It's a pretty crazy
But
video.
I do think she's got an unfair advantage because she's 9.
I agree with that.
She's
And the
little.
other thing
Right,
is,
it doesn't say what her weight is there, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Probably under 100 pounds, right?
and then
You'd think.
there should have an age limit for this.
Why?
Really?
An age limit in what way?
And I checked. There is actually no age limit for any X Games event.
So
You
a
could be-
5-year-old could.
Yes.
If they're good enough, you should be able to play. Why wouldn't you be able to?
Yeah, why would you block the
an ageist?
9-year-old?
Well, I'm
from
just
playing?
asking if there is an age limit.
Yep, no age limit. No age limit. I actually am looking at.
By the way, I might
Young
watch the X Games now. I had no interest in watching them. Now that you told me this story, I might watch them.
See, it works.
It does.
What's up, Foo?
All right, guys, I came across this story earlier today. A 23-year-old influencer shared how much she made in April. She made a little bit over $21,000 before taxes by just reviewing food, and she broke down her expenses. Now, I can believe that she makes that much money, maybe not consecutively, but I don't believe how much she pays for utilities. Check this out.
All right.
She says that she pays $27.50 for rent in LA, which sounds about right. $38 in utilities, $60 for Wi-Fi. So her total expenses for living,
Wait a
just
minute.
that,
Gas, electricity, water bill, all that adds up to only $38.
$38. That's not.
She must be not living there very much.
That's
not even.
right.
I don't really live in my place, and I pay way more than that.
Right.
So it's like under $3,000. So Greg and I were like, "There's no way that that's like a legit utility bill,
not
right?"
real. No,
Yeah.
It's not real. In
I'd
LA.
have to see the actual bill, but the only thing I can think of is maybe she's got like a boyfriend and she's over at his house all the time, so she's not using the water, she's not using the electricity, she's
There's
not
no
using
way.
the gas.
Or she's
But
living with
even
her parents.
Even then, your bill would be more than $38.
Did she put her food on there? How much she
Well,
pays
the
for food?
The food is different. Like her groceries, like a little bit under $300. She eats out a lot, so it's about $400, and she spends $26 on DoorDash, which again I don't get.
Yeah,
But whatever.
yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if I really believe. That
I don't believe it.
I was just doing some.
I don't believe it.
I'm with Pepe.
Ireland, how
I don't believe
much in food do you eat a week? Like what? If
I'm
I
not
was-
as you know, I'm not a big eater. I
Right.
can go 2-3 days without eating.
But what do you average spend on food in a week?
Lisa would know. I don't know. She does
Yeah,
all.
you
The,
don't know?
She does all the shopping. Yeah, but
Pepe, what
I
about
don't
you?
think it's a ton of money.
I eat a lot in restaurants, so I spend a lot of money.
Restaurants expensive as hell. Yeah, we eat the same thing every week. We spend about $300, and that's it. We eat all healthy stuff.
That's good.
Cause I'm in my summer shred.
What's up, Foo?
All right, guys, I think I'm finally on your guys' side here of
Thank
down
God.
on Hard Knocks.
Yep.
I know we have the Giants off-season one that's going to be coming up here soon. The Bears, the original kind of like in training camp aspect. And then they just announced this weekend that it's going to be the entire AFC North, so all 4 teams as the in-season Hard Knocks. I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Now they have 6 teams coming up for this year's Hard Knocks.
I
That's
actually,
a lot of
I
Hard
will
Knocks.
watch the Bears one with
The Bears
Caleb.
one I think will be interesting.
The preseason one,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I've never watched the in-season one. Have you? You guys don't even watch the preseason
I
one.
never
anymore,
watch
right?
it.
I've never
I've
watched
never
the
watched
in-season.
it.
I don't watch.
I've seen every preseason, every training camp edition of Hard
I
Knocks.
The
watched
only
those
year I
ones.
watched is the Rams when Jeff Fisher was the head coach.
Rams have been on it 3 times.
That was a glorious season, by the way, with Jeff Fisher. Glorious.
What's up, Foo?
7-9.
Yeah, I'm not going 7-9 again. You're right. You went 6-10.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. So I have a little bit of a dilemma that hopefully you guys can assist.
I'm
with
sure
me.
we'll fix this. For
I
you.
hope you guys can.
Mhm.
So I have a friend coming in from Dallas. He used to live here, no longer lives here. He's like, I miss the beach and I want to go eat. So he wants to get a reservation at Nobu. And I was like, there's no way you're getting one for tonight because it's like 7 to 8 of us. And he's like, oh, no, I will show up down there and just get it. He's done it before, but I don't want to drive all the way over there and we don't get a reservation, but I don't know how to excuse myself from the dinner or just tell him to pick a different place.
I
How do we do it?
think what is going to end up happening is he will get in. He'll get a reservation for 8, but it'll be non-peak. In other words,
Yeah.
it'll be at like 4 in the afternoon or 10 o'clock at night.
That's
It's
right.
really
Yeah,
hard to
definitely.
get a
I will make
reservation
it.
for a group that big.
Yeah, they keep the big tables available for all their high rollers, or you got to know somebody.
Because
Yeah,
here's
we
the
don't know
thing:
nobody.
when 8 people go to dinner, they talk and they hang out and they want to turn the table over and get
Right.
other people in. So
Right.
they like small groups.
But
don't
they
like a
will
group of
give
8.
you guys a table in non-peak hours.
It's either very early or very late.
And that's what because we've done it before, but it
And
was
by the
just
way,
him
if
and
you're
I.
given with that, if you're presented with that scenario, go early because you can watch the sun go down. You know,
yeah.
you can be at
Well,
the
I'm at work.
table, you know. But I mean, if it's at 4 o'clock and you get the table and you're there from 4 to 7, that's fun.
That's true. That makes sense. I was trying to excuse myself.
All right, there you have it. There's your What's Up Fool. Coming up next, how much power does Rich Paul have over the Lakers, and is he flexing it? That's coming up. Mason and Ireland. Ireland's here, obviously. Pepe's here hanging out, 710 ESPN.
Say happy Juneteenth as we commemorate what this day means in this country. Mason and Ireland are here for Mega Sports Talk and, of course, major announcements all week long. Tomorrow, don't miss the major announcement at 10 a.m. And then on Mason and Ireland at 1:30 p.m., a very special guest will join the show. That's tomorrow. Today, keep listening for us to give away Mandy's tickets for Saturday night at the Commerce Casino. You could be in the house to see if Steve Mason wins Host of the Year. And will Mason and Ireland win Show of the Year?
So you put your thing in a pouch, and when you walk out of the theater, they unzip the pouch for you. You can't do it by yourself.
So keep listening for your chance to be in the house. And right now, let's do it. The Hall of Famers celebrating their 20th year at ESPN Los Angeles, the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland. Your Wednesday afternoon right now.
This is just coming in, Ireland and Pepe. This is from Vince Goodwill from Yahoo Sports. He says J.J. Redick could be a name to watch for the Pistons head coach.
Wow. That would complicate things.
What about that? That would screw everything up.
Then that means we have no idea who's going to be the Laker coach.
Right.
Nobody.
We may not even have heard the name. Is Brago hired somewhere? Did he get hired by
Not
Cleveland?
yet.
Did Cleveland hire anybody?
Nope.
So there's him. There's Kenny Atkinson.
Detroit, Cleveland, and the Lakers all still looking.
Wow. And J.J.
Are
Redick.
those the only 3 jobs open?
Right now, I think, yeah. They filled the one in Charlotte. They filled the one in D.C. Obviously, they filled the one in Phoenix. Yeah, I think that's those 3. I think that's it.
Wow. So he may be in the mix.
Lots of smoke and mirrors, guys. I told you that.
Smoke
from
and
the
mirrors? Is that what you think?
I said that when they talk about the guy from Connecticut. I said smoke and mirrors.
You don't think they wanted the guy from Connecticut?
I'm just saying, smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors, John. It's smoke and mirrors.
Well, the Lakers are like a mirror.
They are like a mirror. You are big on mirrors.
Yeah. I like to look myself in the mirror. Every now and then. Not like you, because if you do, you get scared.
Oh, I do. I scare myself. All right, so John, this story came out today. I find this so interesting. This is Rich Paul telling ESPN. Who wrote this piece for ESPN?
It was Jonathan Givony.
Jonathan Givony, right. So he says, this is Rich Paul now, LeBron is off this idea of having to play with Bronny. If he does, he does. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. There's no deal made that it's guaranteed that if the Lakers draft Bronny at 55, LeBron will re-sign. If that was the case, I would force them to take him at 17. We don't need leverage. The Lakers can draft Bronny, and LeBron won't re-sign. LeBron is also not going to Phoenix for a minimum deal. We can squash that now. So he's basically saying that LeBron and Bronny aren't necessarily connected the way we think, and it's possible that the Lakers could draft Bronny and LeBron still go somewhere else. Now, I don't think he is, but the one interesting part of this, John, to me, is he says, I would force them to take Bronny at 17. He has that leverage. He could force them to say, hey, LeBron will sign if you take Bronny at 17.
And if you don't, LeBron would go somewhere else?
He's kind of, don't you think Rich Paul's kind of flexing his muscles here a little bit?
According to that guy, and I can say, if we die, we die.
These are Rich Paul quotes. This is Rich Paul talking.
Yeah,
it's not smoke and mirrors. It's actually him.
If I needed...
According to
him.
Which guy?
Rich
Paul.
I would like to make a public plea.
Yeah.
I would like Rich Paul to represent sportscasters.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because if he does, I will sign up with him immediately.
Yeah.
That would
because
be great.
what he's doing is good agenting.
Sure.
All right. By the way, Bronny, guys, has only worked out for 2 teams.
Yeah.
Phoenix and LA. And when they asked Rich in that same story, why won't you work out for other teams that have interest? Rich's answer is because I don't want a 2-way deal, and it's a waste of time. If the team will commit to me to give him a regular NBA contract, I will send him in there to work out. And so far, the only 2 teams that have done that are Phoenix and the Lakers.
Now, he says that this is, again, Rich Paul. Nico Harrison is like an uncle to Bronny.
Yeah, Nico ran Nike.
If the Lakers don't take him at 55, Dallas will take him at 58 and give him a guaranteed deal.
Right. But he's only interested in a guaranteed deal. He doesn't want a two-way deal.
Right.
He said Toronto would do it as well in that story.
Right. So
yeah, he said Masai Ujiri, to Raptors president, also.
That limits the options for a lot of people, and I applaud him for not sending his client into places where he doesn't want his client to go.
Right.
This is, by the way, what Arn Tellem did with Kobe. The minute Jerry West saw Kobe's workout, he said to Arn Tellem, "Don't let him work out for anybody else. We're going to maneuver some things and get him here." And that's exactly what they did.
And that's the way they should do it. But
isn't it weird, Mace, that he's saying, I would force them to do
Yeah,
it? He has the ability to force the Lakers.
the ability to push them around.
That's
Exactly
something
right.
that you don't say out loud.
But
He's actually saying what we all believe.
Because he's not doing it. You know,
Wait, because he's not doing
In other
it?
words, I'm not doing it. I'm not holding anybody.
But I could.
But I could
have
if
the ability.
I wanted to.
I have the power to do that.
Yeah, that's what I took away. I could do it if I wanted to, but we don't need leverage. Now, I've always assumed that it lines up with LeBron signing for 3 more years, with the Lakers drafting Bronny at 55. And with LeBron's podcast partner becoming the head coach. To me, that should be a package that would induce LeBron to sign again with the Lakers, to re-sign.
I would bet on all 3 of those things happening.
Yeah, me too.
Now, here's the interesting question. If those things happen, Lakers draft Bronny, LeBron re-signs with the Lakers,
and J.J. Redick
becomes the coach. Does the podcast survive?
Well, they haven't done it for 2 weeks.
But if they do it,
would be the most fascinating podcast in history.
Right.
But the podcast can't exist. Even if let's say he goes to Detroit, like Vince Goodwill is saying, can the podcast still exist in that sense?
I don't know.
Probably not.
That's
right?
what
You
I'm
can't talk
asking.
to players under contract.
I'm going to ask you a question, especially Mace.
Okay.
and
All right.
Mace
Fire
and
away.
Arlen.
Fire away.
You've been doing this for such a long time.
Yeah, I've been doing
Very
this.
long time.
Yeah, for 50 years now, Pepe.
And during the off season, we hear rumors.
Yeah,
all the
we
time,
hear a lot of rumors.
all the time. Who do you think that create these rumors to the ones, quote unquote, that know
Well,
everything?
I think there are leaks in that ship, and information gets out.
Who
I
will
can't
do it?
tell you exactly who
John,
the leaky
John,
person
who do you
is.
think? The general managers, you think they go and
No,
say, hey, John, come here. I really like you. You know what I'm going to do next time? This and that. You think the general managers do it?
I think that, and Rob Pelinka has said this before, I think his relationship with LeBron and Clutch is more of a partnership
Yeah.
than anything else, which means I think that's why Rich Paul's not using his leverage. I
Right.
think he's saying, look, everybody gets along. We can all get what we want here.
Right.
Let's let this play out.
Well, the other thing is he could say, I use that 17th pick to get something that's
Take
going to
Zach
help us.
Edey
Right.
and let
Or
LeBron move to the 4.
That's more likely. That's
and
more
by the way,
likely
when I
to
say
happen.
that all the time, it wouldn't be Anthony Davis moving to the 4 exclusively. You
Right.
just want that option because you don't want LeBron guarding the other 3s. LeBron right now guards the other 4s, and AD guards the 5s.
Right.
So, and LeBron defensively at this stage of his career probably doesn't want to chase Kevin Durant around.
Exactly.
All right. Or Luka.
Right.
But having that club in your bag is a good thing. I still think, Mace, and you've brought this up a couple of times since I brought it up 3 months ago. I think signing Jonas Valanciunas would be really
Yeah, it
smart.
makes perfect sense.
That would be great. And,
I think and play him 25 minutes a game, give AD some relief there, let him play the 4 for 20 minutes a game, and let's go.
Can they
you
do
mentioned that before.
Yeah, can they do both things? Like, could they? And I don't have a mock draft in front of me, so I don't know. Will Zach Edey be there at 17?
I think so.
That's what everybody's saying.
That may be.
But Zach Edey is not a lock to be an NBA player. I mean, most people think he could play in the NBA. But do you remember Drew Timme?
Yes.
Okay, Drew Timme was the best college player 2 years ago at Gonzaga, and he fundamentally sound player
Great
of the
footwork.
year 3 times. Didn't get drafted, ended up signing in Milwaukee. He now plays on their G League team.
He's undersized, though. Zach Edey is giant.
Oversized.
Yeah, it's oversized, exactly. I also didn't think he was all that great, but Purdue liked him for whatever reason.
Let me ask you one other question. So I came across this Sam Amico article.
I know Sam.
He says one league source told him last week that he envisions the Lakers and the Heat making a strong play for a top 5 pick. Is it possible they could trade up instead of trading that pick away?
Yes, and if they did it, I think it would be, Greg, for Donovan Clingan at UConn.
That makes the most sense.
I think big 7-footer can play the 5. If they could bring him in, because
that would be fantastic.
Most people think Clingan is a lock to be an NBA player.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
He was one
Mason,
of the
that's
best
what I
defensive
think
players
that's
in
about.
I like him
basketball.
very, very much.
Yeah.
But going back to my question, you know who are the ones that probably tell the people?
No,
like you
tell
and
me,
all that?
who are these sources?
The agents. If the agent wants, hey, Mace, this and that is going to happen. It's more because they want that to come out.
Right. Well, I mean, this is Rich Paul actually saying these things,
No,
so it's
no,
not.
no.
It's not actually a leak or.
Mace, I'm talking in general.
In general, okay.
Okay. Not using mirrors here.
Most leaks, Pepe's right. Most leaks come from somewhere within the world of the agent. Not necessarily the agent himself, but
The
somebody
office
in the
of
office,
agents.
somebody who's seen the contract.
Correct. Not necessarily somebody, but it's also
Shams used to be a protege of Woj.
Right.
They used to work together. When Shams left the nest is when he built all these relationships with these agents and people at these agencies, and he realized, I can do this just as good as Woj does. I'm going to go compete with him. So there's a game going on behind the game. But you're right, Pepe. Agents are where the leaks are. And a lot of them like to leak.
Yes,
They're trying
to
to get
spin
their
things
client.
in their direction.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, tell you what, coming up next for you is there a song of the summer yet? And maybe we found it. Maybe. Also, let's see. There's one other thing I wanted to get to. Oh yeah. Let's do this. Big surprise in Dallas. Do you hear what's going on down there?
No.
It's very, very interesting. The ownership situation and the Mark Cuban situation.
Really?
Yeah, that's coming up next for you. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. Hey, man, I love my Hyundai. I drive the Elantra. I put it in sport mode, which is really fun. I still get great gas mileage. I've got the class exclusive digital key. I've got the remote smart parking assist. And because Hyundai wants the road ahead to be as worry-free as possible, you also get complimentary maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles and 10 years of America's best warranty. In a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealer today. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Commemorate what this day means in this country. Don't forget, we've had 2 major announcements so far this week on Major Announcement Week. USC is back on 710, and Cappy's got a new deal. What will tomorrow bring? Be listening at 10 a.m. for Major Announcement number 3, and then at 1:30 p.m. to this show, Mason and Ireland, for a very special guest. That's tomorrow. Right now, though, more of Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon on 710.
Momo's favorite song. Little John Fogerty there, Mason in Ireland. Pepe is in today. Pepe, you've been very talky today. You've been talking a lot. So
that's wait. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I know. We like
what do you want me to do? I mean,
no,
be quiet.
You're mixing it up with us. I like that. I like this version of Pepe.
You're never happy.
I'm always happy.
No, you're not.
I'm the happiest guy around.
No, what was the thing earlier, Greg?
I'm not mad.
Yeah. No, man, and we said there was some definition. What's the
I'm
French?
not ennui.
Ennui, yeah.
I'm not ennui.
You're ennui today.
No, I'm not. So this is interesting to me. This came out. Let me see when this came out. Mark Cuban did hold minority ownership of the Dallas Mavericks, 27%. But he has now moved off the team. He will have no longer any control over the Mavericks basketball operations. Now, I saw him at the finals. Did this story came out yesterday. Did they just remove him as the governor?
I knew. No, they removed him as the governor when the sale went through. And it's some of this is
Nico Harrison now has complete control of the operations of the Dallas Mavericks, and Cuban is not.
Correct. And Nico is Nico was Kobe's guy at Nike. Nico ran Nike.
Right.
And is a great guy. I know him a little bit, and they're in good hands with him. But Mace, I knew this was going to happen, and I didn't understand why people didn't make a bigger deal about it when the sale went through.
Right.
If you sell your controlling interest, and the key term here is controlling interest.
Yes.
And you announce to the world that there'll be no change in my role, you are lying.
That's right.
You no longer, you now have a boss.
Right.
Before, Mark Cuban was the boss.
But here's I
knew this was ending this way.
If I'm these new people that own the team, I would want Mark Cuban to still be involved. Mark Cuban is good for the Dallas Mavericks. He's been good for the NBA.
Right. But he no longer
his fingerprints are all over what happened with the Mavericks this year.
Yeah, but he no longer controls the money.
Right.
And by the way, the Adelson family who bought the Mavericks, the reason there's a few layers to this. If I start getting too inside, just stop me. The main reason this sale went through is the Adelsons, legalized gambling is coming to Texas. The Adelsons want to build a new arena/casino facility similar to the one in Cleveland that Dan Gilbert has.
Yep.
And it's going to make him a fortune. And they made Mark Cuban an offer he can't refuse. They overpaid. He made billions on the deal. And they said, you are welcome to hang around, but we now have the controlling interest. And the governor, Miriam Adelson, who is Sheldon Adelson's widow. Sheldon Adelson is a
casino
casino muckety-muck, big dude. But he's also, him and his wife, Miriam, are the #1 contributors to Donald Trump and the Republican Party, which is a weird look for an NBA team. So her son is the governor, because she's making $100 million political donations.
Right.
So Mark, though, is out.
By the way, that is no crime to make political donations.
Not at all. But it's weird in the sense that most NBA teams are going the other way.
Right.
So Pablo Torre did a whole deep dive on this on his podcast last week. But what's interesting is anybody who's telling you that Mark Cuban is still in charge of the Mavericks doesn't know what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah,
He's
no.
not.
This
Mark Cuban is now a figurehead only. He's an empty title.
And somebody was saying that he probably did it too because he wants to be in politics.
I think he does want to be in politics. He's spoken a lot about that.
What's interesting is he won't say if he's a Democrat or a Republican. He says, I've supported candidates for both sides. And they say, well, what are you? And he says, he's voting for Biden.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that on the record.
Yeah.
But he says, I wouldn't decide He goes, I decide issue by issue. I'm not in a party.
Right.
So if he does, he's probably going to have to pick a team.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you'll have to because it's either going to be A or B. It's a binary choice. So,
right.
All right. So, John, I always love the song of the summer bit.
Yeah.
There's always one
So you
song.
think you know what the song of this summer is going to be?
I've got 15 seconds of a song that I
Okay.
think could be song of the summer. This is Laura found this. This is Katy Perry on TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok. She previewed a snippet of her song coming out in July.
Okay, so her song's coming out in July. It's called Woman's World. Listen to this 15 seconds and tell me if you think this could be song of the summer.
Sexy, confident, so intelligent. She is heaven sent, so soft, so strong.
Now, she didn't give us the hook, which makes it very difficult. But I would say no. I'm voting no on that.
Yeah, no, I got one for you.
Anybody
I
got a
one.
yes?
Hell no. This
Not a
is
yes
the
to that.
song
It's
of
a
the
no.
summer. Hit it, Brian. Hit it.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
This
They
is
not like us.
everywhere.
Is
They
this
not like
officially
us.
the song of the summer?
This is the song of the year, man.
Who is this?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah.
It was during the
yeah.
diss
The
track
diss-
battle with
Drake.
Kendrick. Drake
Was
and
this
Kendrick
one of the
Lamar. Yes.
diss tracks?
Yeah.
I mean, he put everything in a rest with this one.
Yeah. This ended it. It ended it. Kendrick won with this.
This was the winner?
The Katy Perry clip sounded very auto-tuned, did it not?
I think she always is. And by the way, she looks
Crazy.
different.
Oh, that's a better word. Yeah, my bad.
Different. Yeah, no,
I
I'm not gonna
love
say
her.
crazy. I'll say different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I've
great.
always loved the way she looks.
Yeah.
Oh, look her up now.
I like her.
No, she's gorgeous, but it doesn't look like her.
Yeah, she looks different than she did the last time she had an album. That's at
She
least
just
my
looks
opinion.
very different. Good
Yeah.
word. Good word.
All right, coming up next for you, did Adam Silver tip his hand during the finals? Is he about to make a major announcement? We'll do that coming up next for you. Mason in Ireland, Pepe is hanging out. Game of Games, potpourri of lies today with Pepe Mantilla. I'm sure he's got that envelope hermetically sealed and ready to go.
And you better get ready because this is going to be interesting.
Okay, we'll do that coming
that
up.
means we got some Gina Lola Brigida coming.
Oh, yeah, better believe it. Sophia Loren, Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, tomorrow is Invisalign Day at Beverly Hills Orthodontics. They are offering, get this, $1,650 off of Invisalign treatment tomorrow only. This is a game changer in orthodontic treatment. Let me say it one more time. Thursday, June 20th, tomorrow, one day only. Beverly Hills Ortho is providing $1,650 off your Invisalign treatment. If you're one of these people that's been waiting for the right opportunity to take care of your teeth, this is it. Say goodbye to the bulky metal braces and hello to discreet, comfortable aligners that will fit seamlessly into your lifestyle. Here's how you get involved. Call or text Beverly Hills Orthodontics today and sign up for tomorrow's Invisalign event at 310-785-0770. 310-785-0770 or go to BeverlyHillsOrtho.com for more info. You can go meet Monica Madden and her amazing team and start your journey towards transforming your smile. Here's the number one more time. And again, this event is tomorrow, one day only. 310-785-0770. And remember, whatever happens, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Forget, we've had 2 major announcements so far this week on Major Announcement Week. USC is back on 710, and Cappy's got a new deal. What will tomorrow bring? Be listening at 10 a.m. for Major Announcement number 3, and then at 1:30 p.m. to this show, Mason and Ireland, for a very special guest. That's tomorrow. Right now, though, more of Mason and Ireland, your Wednesday afternoon on 710.
Okay, I have an announcement. You guys ready? Ladies and gentlemen.
Boston.
There you go.
That's your announcement?
That's my announcement.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to get that in there. By the way, clipped. We talked to Ramona Shelburne earlier. I think last night's episode, or episode 4, has put the show into a different stratosphere because you now know the backstories of all these principal characters, and it all sort of comes together to make sense. It is just brilliant.
The show itself is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. All right, so this is interesting. Adam Silver at some point during the finals did an interview, and wonder if he tipped his hand on something. Go ahead and hit that, Brian.
What can you do? Because I know how passionate you are. It's an important weekend. What can you do to fix the All-Star game?
So I don't want to overpromise because I do remember you asked me this last year, and I said I got this.
I wasn't going to mention that.
And you know, honestly, my concern about U.S. First International is that we may be just past the point where guys and teams are incentivized to play a competitive All-Star game in the middle of the season. It's just, you could speak to this, it's the nature of the league. And I look back at last year, I mean, honestly, you know, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, others spoke to the players before the game, and I don't think any of them set out thinking we're just not going to play hard. It's just this sort of group dynamic that takes over. And yet I think about, for example, the Steph versus Sabrina shootout last year, which was a highlight of All-Star Weekend. Absolutely. And so my reaction is that maybe we need to play basketball, but we have to do something that's a little bit different, frankly, that recognizes this is about entertainment, that people want to see the players put their best foot forward, but it has to be something more than just a game. And even if it were U.S. versus international, because there's just some governor on them from playing all out, just given how long the season is and the risk potentially of injuring themselves.
You know what you just heard? The end of the All-Star game as we know it.
Game, yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
There's no way a commissioner comes out and is that open and honest about the failures of the All-Star game. I think it's done. I think they're going to go the way of the NFL.
Yeah, he's saying that there's no way to incentivize guys.
Michael's
to play hard
been saying this for 5 years.
But what about the money that they make from the sponsors and all that?
They will protect it by doing a series of events. The three-point shootout will live. The dunk contest will live. The skills competition will live.
Yep. So I think the game will disappear.
Yeah, game will go away. And they may have more shootouts. I mean, Caitlin Clark in a shootout would be unbelievable. People would love that. But it's time for the game to go away. It's time for it to go away.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares about the game itself, especially the players.
Yeah, no. All right, so here's a question. We got Potpourri of Lies coming in for you in a minute. I am so sore. Should I work out or not work out?
Well, this is the thing. If you can work through the soreness is when you break through the wall.
So you vote yes, I go?
Yes, go.
Yeah, I mean,
don't give up.
It's the one thing that the minute you don't go, you're done.
You're a quitter.
Well, you're just done. You're going to be sore for 3 days, and you're not going to want to do it tomorrow.
God.
No claudiques. That's in Spanish.
I know. I recognize it.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
No what?
I say it all the time.
Claudiques.
Okay.
I don't even know it. What is it?
Don't give up.
Don't give up. There you go. All right. So, Pepe, tell me about the potpourri. Have you got this thing ready to roll? And
yeah, interesting questions.
Who do you think's going to win?
Well, everyone here won except for Laura.
Laura's never won a potpourri.
Never won the potpourri. No, so I hope Laura can win this time.
Okay.
So everybody can win. Just think before you answer.
That's
all these
my
questions. John, you said that they were obscure. Maybe they're obscure for some people that never got a book in their hands. Mm-hmm. But anyways, there is nothing more obscure than Michael Thompson asking us what were the favorite cereal for Saddam Hussein.
Did he actually ask that?
Yeah, it sounds like something Michael would ask.
That game was insane.
Dictator game.
The dictator game.
I don't think I was here for that.
That's right, dictator
what was
game.
Saddam Hussein's cereal?
Yeah, he just asked a bunch of questions about dictators.
4 of them had to do with Hitler. It was great.
God,
He started
great game.
The unwritten rule of radio.
Great game.
Don't talk about Hitler
By the way,
in
I
any
like,
context.
that one. I was
Unwritten rule
okay
in
with
life.
that.
Yeah.
Steer
Just don't
clear.
bring it up. It ends badly for anyone who brings it up.
All right, coming up next for you is a potpourri of lies. In the meantime, I actually just did the Mindful Minute for this week, and one of the things I talked about was that there are lots of ways to deal with mental health that you're maybe not thinking of. Like, for example, meditation or yoga. When I went to the Take Action event at Santa Monica Pier a couple of weeks back with the LA County Department of Mental Health, they were talking about sound bath, acupuncture. There are lots of ways to work with your mental health issue. And no matter what, the Department of Mental Health is there to support you through it all. A listening ear. They provide free emotional support, service referrals, crisis counseling. They have a 24/7 helpline. And don't be afraid to use it. 800-854-7771. That's 800-854-7771. You can also visit their website at dmh.lacounty.gov. Your mental health is their priority. Let the LA County Department of Mental Health be your support on this journey. Together, let's shape a brighter tomorrow with hope and recovery and well-being. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
In LA, Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time, and we're playing Pepe's theme song. Sweet little lies. It is time for the potpourri of lies. It says, he's got the envelope. It says potpourri for smart people. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're in the wrong room if you
done.
think that, you need to go to the other studio.
The hell? Smart people you think are
Sorry,
here?
guys. Yeah,
Bobby Marks is in the other room. You can do
Is
this
Bobby
with him.
Marks in the other room?
Yes, he is.
Should we just bring him in and tell him to play this game?
All right, so Pepe, you got your envelope open. You've got your questions ready to go. Bergman, do we have a score for this month?
We do have a score for this month.
I think I actually got one, didn't I?
You do not have one.
No.
Oh,
No.
Ireland.
you did win once.
Yeah, I did
You
win
won my
once.
game on Monday.
Yeah, I did win one.
Was I not here on Monday?
You were here.
Yeah,
All right, well,
Mason won my game on Monday, so he has one.
I have one.
I thought Andy won that game. He wasn't here on Monday. Andy won that game.
Oh, that's true. I was not here on
I take it all back.
Yeah, I did not win a game.
I tried to get you a
told
freebie.
I know.
On
right.
Friday,
So
we won.
Ireland has
Collusion.
4, Bergman has 2, Emily has 1, Cody has 1, Jacob has 1, Marcus has 1, and Andy has 1.
Okay. Mace, this could be your day.
Oh, this is I'm great at the potpourri. What do you got there, Pepe?
Okay, pay attention, please.
Okay,
and
we will.
Please do not all talk at the same time.
Okay.
What is the capital of Kosovo? Astana, Ljubljana, or Pristina?
Brian, A, B, or C?
C.
Greg.
I'm just going to say A. I didn't understand any of them.
Laura.
Same. I'm going C.
We got an A and 2 C's. Mace.
I think I'm going to go Ludwina, B.
I will also go B. Pepe, what's the answer?
You should have gone Z.
Yeah.
Laura got it?
Pristina.
C.
Greg, you got it too, right?
No,
You
I got
that
an A.
one.
It was
Brian.
Brian
Laura
and
Brian.
Laura.
All right, Laura and Brian are on the board. Okay.
When was the Nobel Prize in Literature first awarded? 1900, 1901, or 1902?
Greg.
Let's go with 1900.
Laura.
1901.
Mace.
1901.
I'll go 1902. Brian.
1902.
1901.
Yeah. All right. Mace got it. Laura, you got that again, right?
Yes, I did.
All right. Laura's got 2. I don't know.
Nice, Laura.
This could be your day, Laura.
I don't know. but we'll
Okay,
see.
here we go. Who was the first American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature? A. Sinclair Lewis, Philip Roth, or F. Scott Fitzgerald?
Laura.
C.
You're going Fitzgerald. Mace.
What was one?
Lewis.
I'll say Sinclair Lewis.
I will also say Sinclair Lewis. But I followed you last time and missed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll still do it.
Okay.
Brian.
Fitzgerald.
Greg.
Lewis.
Who is it, Pepe?
It is Lewis.
Hey, I'm on the
All
board.
right, we're on the board.
Okay.
All right.
I
So
did-
Mace got that. Greg, you got that,
I
right?
did.
Okay. So right now it is Laura 2, Mason 2, everybody else 1.
You can call this whatever you want to, airy or whatever.
Airy?
When are you going to be interrupting me?
What's airy?
I'm with Mason. I don't know what that word means.
Okay, well, okay. You can call it whatever you want.
Okay.
All right.
When John said if I do the game, I started doing it, and I had 2 questions about the great Willie Mays.
Okay.
So it happened that he passed, and you know.
Yeah, that's okay. Go
That's
ahead.
all right.
Bring it
Yeah.
on.
In tribute to
Where was Willie Mays born? Montgomery, Alabama, Westfield, Alabama, or Huntsville, Alabama?
Mace, this one's you.
number 1. What was the number 1?
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
I'm going to go Montgomery also. Brian.
Montgomery.
Greg.
I'm going to say Huntsville.
Laura.
I'm also going to go Huntsville.
Westfield. It was all over the paper.
Nobody got it.
The newspaper?
Wow. It was,
It was
right
all,
there.
all over the paper because when he died, they
Yeah,
put that.
right.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. In what year did Willie Mays win the Rookie of the Year award? 1950, 1951, or 1952?
I'm going to go 1951. Brian.
52.
Greg.
52.
Laura.
Also 52.
Mace.
I'm also going 52.
51.
Boom. All right. So Ireland, Mason, and Laura all have 2. Brian and Greg have 1.
Yep.
How many you got left, Pepe? A bunch?
7 more.
7 more. All right.
Cool. Okay. Hakuna Matata means no trouble, no worries, take it easy.
That's my attitude.
In what language? Bantu, Yoruba, or Swahili?
Brian.
Swahili.
Greg.
The first one, Bentu.
Laura.
Swahili.
Mace.
I'm going Swahili.
Swahili sounds good to me.
It sounds good to me too. It's Swahili.
Okay. So everybody got that except who?
Me, Greg.
All right. So Brian's got 2. Laura has 3. Mason 3. Ireland 3. Greg, you have 1.
What year did George Orwell write the book 1984?
1984.
In 1948, 1949, or 1950?
Greg.
1948.
Laura.
A.
That's 48.
Okay, both have 48. Mace.
49.
I'll go 49. Brian.
I'll go 50.
49.
All right, that's Mason and Ireland. Both take the lead with 4 each.
Nice.
This is a hard one, okay?
Okay.
Only very smart people know this.
Okay.
What
Laura,
was-
coming to you.
I'm out. I'm out.
What was the real name of George Orwell? Eric Arthur Blair, George Edward Moulton, or Joseph Michael Price?
I'm going to go with A.
Mace.
George Edward Milton.
Only one of those had the name George in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will go with that one as well. Brian.
The last one, Price.
Greg.
I'll do the Milton one.
What is it?
Eric Arthur Blair.
Oh,
Nobody got it?
Anybody got it? No.
Laura.
I got it.
Oh,
A.
you did. Okay, Laura, you're now tied for the lead.
Laura's making a run.
4 for Laura, 4 for Mace, 4 for John, 2 for Brian, 1 for Greg.
This is for you guys, Raiders fans. At what university did the great Fred Biletnikoff play and was drafted by the Raiders? Penn State, Florida State, or Michigan State?
Mace.
Michigan State.
I do not know this, and I should. What was the first one, Pepe?
Penn State.
I'm going to go Florida State. Brian.
Let's go Michigan State.
Greg.
I'm going to go Florida State. also.
Laura.
I'll go different. I'll go Penn State.
You should have gone with Florida State.
Okay. So,
Florida
Greg,
State.
just me and you,
Yeah,
right?
just us two.
That's how it should be. We're the only ones that root for the silver and black.
That's right.
That makes sense.
All right. Laura, you did not get that?
No, I did
Okay,
not.
so you still have 4, and I have 5. I have the lead now. And Greg, you have 2.
Okay, here it goes. What rock singer was known as Maca? Paul Simon, Paul Rogers, or Paul McCartney?
Spell the nickname?
Maca, M-A-C-C-A.
Maca.
Okay. And the
How many are left?
With this one, 3.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
And the choices were who, Pepe?
Paul Simon, Paul Rogers, or Paul McCartney?
I'll go Paul Rogers. Next up is Mace.
Paul Rogers.
Laura.
Paul McCartney.
Brian.
Paul Simon.
Greg.
I'm out, so I'll just say Simon.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Laura ties me for the lead.
I'm out.
Heard him called
No.
Maca?
Yeah.
I know you're going to check it. Check
Greg and
I'm
Brian.
not gonna check
no,
it.
Greg and Brian are
I'm out, so I'll
complaining.
check it.
Okay, yeah, good. All right, so listen. Right now the score is Laura 5, John 5, Mace 4, 2 left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, Laura. Coming to
Okay.
you.
Okay.
What is the name of the Chuck Berry song that John Travolta and Uma Thurman dance in the movie Pulp Fiction? Johnny Be Good, Rock and Roll Music, or You Never Can Tell?
Laura.
My dad's going to kill me if I get this wrong. And I'm probably going to, so I'm going to just go A.
You're going Johnny Be Good.
Yeah.
What were the other 2, Pepe?
Rock and Roll Music and You Never Can Tell.
I'll say You Never Can Tell. Mace.
I also think it's You Never Can Tell.
Is that it?
Yes.
It is You Never Can Tell.
Okay.
All right.
So Mace ties Laura. I have 6. You 2 have 5. Last one, I have to go first.
Okay. Okay. What was the first horse that won the Triple Crown in 1919? War Admiral, Sir Barton, or Gallant Fox?
I do not know the answer. I'm going to say War Admiral. Mace.
Say it one more time, Pepe. The 3.
War Admiral, Sir Barton, or Gallant Fox?
You have to say Sir Barton or Gallant Fox.
Sir Barton.
Laura?
Gallon Fox.
Somebody's going to get it.
Sir Barton.
Oh!
That's you, right?
Yeah, that's
All right.
me.
Tiebreaker, it only involves Mason and Ireland. What's the tiebreaker, Pep?
How many total yards did Fred Biletnikoff have in his 14 years in the NFL?
Okay. 14 years in the NFL. I will... Oh, God, that's hard. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I wrote a number down. You write a number down?
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
I wrote 16,222.
I wrote 11,000.
We have a winner.
Hmm.
8,974.
Oh, you got me!
Oh, yeah.
Bases on the
They
board.
didn't throw the ball as much back
That's
in the
right.
day.
I figured about 1,000 yards a year.
Yeah, I had him at 800 yards a year.
You
and I
should have
slammed it
known
up.
that.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Fred Blick. I'm lucky I got that he went to Florida State.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
Pepe, that was good.
Way to go, Mace.
Laura, you were so close.
I always drop the ball. I feel like that's just not something I'm good at.
I consider myself Jack Nicklaus in these games. As long as I finish first or second, I'm good. Jack Nicklaus
Right.
always finished first or second.
Yeah.
'Cause you had to go through Jack to win a golf tournament.
Right.
So I congratulate you on your victory.
Pepe, I'm super disappointed that there was not an old-timey actress in there. You normally have a question with an old-timey actress.
Every time that I do that,
Can you make up one with an old-timey actress?
You're really happy.
Do an old-timey actress question.
You got one off the top of your head for an old-timey actress?
You're really happy, and then you win. See?
So no.
Let me see if I can come up with an
Okay,
old-timey
let me see if I can
actress
come up
for
with
you.
yeah.
Okay. Pepe, name either one. It's a serious question. Mason actually knows the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
Mariska Hargitay, you know who that is?
Yes.
Name either one of her parents. She had two famous parents.
No idea.
No.
Jane Mansfield was her mother.
And Mickey Hargitay.
And Mickey Hargitay, the bodybuilder, was her father.
Okay.
And Jane Mansfield was murdered, right? Or
She
killed
died in a car
accident,
crash.
right?
Yeah.
When Mariska was young.
Okay, I got one for you, Pepe. Ready?
Okay, go.
Okay. Only 3 movies in history have won Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Director. What are they?
Can I help him?
Yeah.
Pepe, one is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I know that. Does that sound right? Okay.
That is correct.
All right.
No, I cannot think of any.
You can't.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Pepe, let's work through it. All right. So we know one is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I want to say Annie Hall. Does that sound like it's a possibility?
No, I don't think so.
Is Annie Hall one of them, Mace?
Annie Hall is not one of them.
What about Titanic?
What were you going to say, Bergman?
Titanic, John?
Yeah, why not?
No. Leo
They
didn't
would've
win.
won. They
Or
would've-
and Kate didn't win.
All right,
No,
so we're down two
let me get
strikes.
Pepe.
How
Let me
about
get Pepe a
Gone
hint.
with the Wind?
What's that?
Gone with the Wind?
No.
All right, so that's
Okay.
that's three strikes.
The first one is It Happened One Night with your
I knew
favorite
that one.
Claudette Colbert.
I knew that one.
I know you've got a Claudette Colbert poster in your bedroom,
And
right?
who doesn't?
2 of those.
And a horror movie, Silence of the Lambs, is the
Wow.
third
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Jodie
yeah.
Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Jonathan Demme, and Best Picture.
I have an easy one for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Who said I'm ready for my close-up?
That is
Betty Davis.
No. That is Gloria Swanson
That's very good.
in Sunset
Mace.
Boulevard.
See, that's
Was
what.
Gloria Swanson in Titanic? Is that like
No, that was some
who
other
was,
old
who was
lady.
that old woman that was an actress who's been around forever in Titanic?
Yeah, I don't remember. She was a thing. Let's do some super crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger.
Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Cappy, you know what I told the powers that be yesterday before I left the station?
Tell me. pay that man his money.
That's what I said. And yes, you've got a brand new deal. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Mace, I will tell you that I do believe that you put it over the top. I mean, when you threatened management at ESPN that if I was not re-signed, that you were leaving the radio station.
Yes.
Even though that was not a real threat.
No, I just said it because I thought it would make me sound good.
Right. and it did, and it helped.
Yes, good.
It got us to the finish line, and I give you all the credit.
Oh, I'm so glad. It would not be the afternoon takeover without Scott Kaplan to annoy George Shadano.
By the way, it was not Gloria Swanson who appeared in Titanic. It was Gloria Stewart.
Yeah.
She was 87 when she did that movie, making her the oldest woman ever nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All she did was drop that thing in the water.
Congratulations, Cappy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Pepe. I appreciate that. I'm really looking forward to Saturday night, man. I think the party is going to be on. Johnny I know you're not going to stay at the Commerce Casino. Can I get your hotel room?
Yeah, sure.
Mace, you're not staying. You said you're getting out of there?
I don't think they're giving me one. I told them, they asked me if I wanted one, and I said no.
Yeah, I don't have a room. I was just going to grab a Uber on my way home.
My girl, Miss Molly, has a suite. The Benson crime family now has a suite.
Oh, wow. The Benson crime family is
What's the final verdict on Rachel?
Rachel is
in or out?
I don't think she's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my wife's not coming. Kelly's not coming. Is she, George?
Nope.
And then Juan's not coming.
No, Juan is not coming. He
Is
wants
Liz coming?
nothing to do with
Yes,
this.
Liz
is coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is just it, is that when she said to me, I said, Rachel, I'd still love for you to come. But I was like, but Juan's not coming, and Kelly's not coming,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Lisa's not coming. And I just said, nobody's spouse or significant other or whatever is coming.
Travis is bringing
Susan is gonna come.
And I'm sure Slee will
Liz,
bring
Liz is going to be there. I don't know why you said that.
No,
Liz is
Liz,
not coming.
I'm very happy that Liz is coming. Knowing that Liz is coming, knowing that Lady Slee is coming, and knowing that Susan is coming, that is ammunition
That's
for me
leverage.
tonight. That is ammunition
There
tonight
you
to go
go.
back to Rachel and say, girl, come on.
Now, the voting is over.
Mm-hmm.
I have got a weird, and it could be completely wrong, but I've got a weird host of the year vibe.
I think you should continue that vibe through the weekend, because if by chance you lose, you will be crestfallen. It will be the highlight video in the night.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
I
Are
hope
you kidding?
I hope I just get up there once. Just once.
Sedano, are you?
Once? Were you going somewhere?
Sedano,
Well, no,
are you
I just don't
serious
think I'm
that
going to
you
be
don't-
up there a lot.
Literally, it will ruin his life if he does.
well,
You
it's
do
I
not
think
not-
the first one. I think you wanted the first
Oh,
one
the
really
first
bad.
one I thought for sure I had.
You think that was the one
And
he
Cappy
definitely wanted.
pried it away from your cold
Stole
dead
it.
fingers.
You were so. This is the funny thing. I remember the first one because obviously both have been stunners in a way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
both.
Cappy and Slee. I don't
And
think
Slee.
anyone pegged Slee going into it. I think they thought Cappy repeat or maybe you this time. But I remember the first one, John, where the social team had you mic'd up.
They mic'd me up. They had
Last
cameras
year,
on
too.
me.
Last year, I sat next to you last year.
Well,
They did it to you
nobody's
last year, too.
putting a mic on me this year. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be that guy.
They mic'd you up, and they were also filming, I believe, at the
They
same
were.
time.
They
So,
got me
Carlo,
pissed
if
off,
you're
yes.
listening, you can. I'll be sitting
Carlo,
next to
do
Mason.
not come
you
near
can
me.
put the mic on me.
Carlo,
so
yeah,
you
put
can
the mic on John.
so you can get his
So-
reaction
Yeah.
when he gets.
So I
crushed.
thought that was like a shoo-in for you.
So I thought when they mic'd me up, because Carlo, I think, does know the winner. I thought when they mic'd
well,
me
they know
up.
by then, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Do they know?
Carlo does not know the winner.
I think
Only-
Tommy's the only one.
Tommy and Jorge.
Different Asian.
Briones.
Yeah, different.
Different Asian.
Yeah,
really?
different Asian. That's
Really?
true. That's true.
Really,
different
though.
Asian.
Shouts out to you, Tommy.
Nobody's micing me up. And by the way, I really think Bergman's got a shot at most hated. It's Morales is a heavy.
I mean, Morales is the heavy favorite.
Morales is 2-1, and you're
I think
7-1.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
Sedano
think
was
I'm
doing
getting
a lot
close.
of voting in that category over the last couple of days.
The
before
voting
it
is
closed.
closed, Cappy.
I know, but
Oh,
before
hey,
it closed.
Sedano,
Mace,
can-
I have a question for you.
Oh,
If you
what is
don't
it?
win, will you cry?
If you don't
I'll
win,
cry either way.
I think you'll cry if you win.
I'll cry if I
Cappy
win.
kind of cried
Yeah.
a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
Pepe, he will cry regardless of
Yeah.
the winner.
Win, lose, draw.
He'll
I'm gonna
cry. He'll cry out of sadness if
Yep.
he loses, and out of happiness if he wins.
Yeah, one or the other.
All right, so
you're going to get tears.
It's your
I think
party.
Mace wins.
It's
I
your
got
party
Mace.
and you cry if you win.
Yeah, exactly.
I got Mace winning this thing this year, for
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you, Cappy.
Third time's the charm, man.
Yes, exactly.
You're the Susan Lucci.
I really am. I'm the Susan Lucci of the Mandy
Well,
Award.
you won an award last year. You didn't want to win.
All I did was strip down and run, and I got an award for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been on stage all night. You guys won Show of the Year. We won Show of the Year the first year.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was like 17 votes different last year,
Yeah.
and you guys won.
Yeah.
I think that trophy comes back to us.
But I will just say this.
What if
that-
Travis and
that-
Slee went?
Good for them.
That would be
I
wonderful.
root for
That
Travis.
would be
Slee.
good.
They're
Then
gutty
everybody would
little
have
kids.
You don't really
Oh,
root for
they
them.
are
Who
gutty, gutty
You
little.
are so full of crap.
I love that
You
show.
don't root for
I
anyone.
root
You've never heard
for
that show in
Travis
your
and
life.
Slee.
There's no chance you've ever heard that show.
Are you kidding me?
Other than when you walk in here.
Emily Hebel has been on my podcast.
Yeah, that's
So
you
what
heard
does that
that
mean? Yeah.
show, but
I'm with
not the
John.
show that she's on.
Oh, I love Travis.
When do
and
you
Slee.
tune in to Travis and Slee?
Whenever
when you're
they-
driving in?
When you
Whenever
get
they-
up at 10:30.
Whenever they do their rabbit hole snake
really?
draft, they do
Yeah.
they go down
It's a
a
snake
rabbit
draft.
hole and then they do a snake draft with it, and
Right.
it's amazing.
I think those are
radio.
two separate segments.
Really, I
Yeah.
thought they were together.
Fairly certain.
No,
Yeah.
and then they do one that's completely unique,
At what
Factor
time-
Cap, that is nothing like anything else on the station. It's not like What's Up, Fool. It's not like Radio
Now-
Tinder. It's new. It
brand-
breaks
it's
the mold.
innovative.
Now,
It's
when,
innovative,
when-
is what it
when
is.
you had Emily Hebel on your podcast, were you able to talk about, because remember, we couldn't talk about food because that was their thing.
Oh, that's right.
For a minute. Were you allowed to talk about breaking bread or no?
We're not allowed to talk about food.
Ever still?
No, ever.
There's
It's-
still a ban
it's
on
against
food.
the rules. I'm not allowed to talk about
Okay.
food under any circumstance.
Yes.
That is a hard and fast rule by
Okay.
Travis and Slee.
Okay.
So Emma's coming on for. Is anybody on House of the Dragon yet?
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
on
the
it.
whole thing.
I'm on it.
great.
I watched it.
It
I watched the whole
was-
thing.
Okay.
I watched it last
so
night, George.
You did? So
Yep.
I told Cappy it was one. I saw this thing, the West Coast re-air from my hotel room.
Right.
Okay. So I watched this thing. I don't know. It was like midnight on the East Coast, and I'm watching this thing, and I could not sleep after the episode ended. Like
Right.
I had to listen to the accompaniment podcast to try to like bring myself
Yeah.
down and explain a few things.
Yeah, right.
But it was as disturbing a season premiere in the entire Game of Thrones universe.
I agree.
Well, I thought they needed a little more. Like the sound was bad, but I thought I needed a little more visual just to really gross me out.
Well, but don't spoil it for
I'm
those who
not-
haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
no,
I won't
don't
spoil
The director of that episode is coming on the Culture Pop podcast.
When?
I wanna know,
He's the showrunner who directed it, right?
It must be like a movie every episode, right? How long was that? That
It was
episode,
an hour.
Was it just an hour?
It was just an
Hour 7.
An hour 7.
Well, no,
yeah.
an hour 7 also includes the previews and the credits and all that
Fair
stuff.
point. Fair
It was
point. Start to finish, hour 7.
Yeah, it was 11:47 to 12:47. I remember specifically. I looked at the clock both times.
Yeah.
I last night had to really fight hard to stay awake, but I kept saying to myself, Shidano says that the ending is ridiculous.
And was it?
It was bad. It was really bad.
Like bad as in insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I can't believe
Have
they
you?
did that.
Do you watch it, John?
No.
But you watch Game of Thrones.
You should get on it. It's really
Yeah,
good.
I will at some point.
It's very good.
You know what it reminded me of? Remember in Game of Thrones when they had the fire lady? What was her name?
No, don't say. Oh, you kind of gave it away.
Yeah,
What did I
don't
give
do that
away?
anymore.
What I give away?
No. Just don't say a word anymore.
I didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
stop.
You know what I'm
say a
saying.
No, but stop. We already
You're
know
a
where you're
spoiler.
going.
You're
not
a spoiler.
No
You're
spoil.
a human
No
spoiler
spoil.
alert.
No spoil.
It's very similar. What you're talking about. Like, stop. Don't do it.
Momo was here earlier. Are you caught up on Clipped?
I am not started. yet.
Episode 4, awesome.
I'm not
only,
started yet.
I'm only in through 3. I'm
It
only
was-
into 3.
I don't-
Episode 4 is
I
excellent.
don't know about you, and I didn't have the fire stick to bring with me, but because I was
Fire!
already gone.
Don't say fire. You're giving it away.
Fire stick, you doofus.
Right, but she was on a stick.
What?
I don't
What?
know.
I don't know what you're talking about anymore. But anyway,
ignore
go ahead.
him.
So I don't
Gets
like
a
to,
new contract, and it's like, I don't care what I say anymore.
I don't like to watch on my laptop. Like
Neither do
something
I.
like that. So
Yeah.
I want to watch it on TV. So I've been waiting to get back to
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, it's
and I
very
can
You
good.
got to
binge
start
the
traveling
episodes.
with a fire stick, man. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
I know.
By the way, Jorge, congratulations. I was listening. Great job. And I
Oh,
at
thank
the
you.
same time, at one point I was watching how you were moving from one place to the other.
Oh, you could see it on TV as I was
Yeah,
moving?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was a
can I
good
just-
snooper, as they say.
Yeah. Oh,
I
really?
snooped into those huddles really well.
Cappy, what else do you want to spoil?
wanna-
do you want
I
to
wanna
spoil
just-
another show?
No spoil. No
So
spoil.
far, you're 1 for 1.
But I want to say this: that go back to the Mandy's for a 2nd.
Uh-huh.
See now, Mace, you're having this host of the year vibe,
It's
right?
just a vibe.
It's
Just
a feeling.
vibe.
A feeling.
Yeah.
But I will just say this: I want one award this year. That's it. Just one. It doesn't have to be Host of the Year. I would love it to be Show of the Year. That would be lovely. Okay? But the one award that I will honestly say out loud that I want is the Bit of the Year award. And what I'm worried about is I'm worried that Johnny I and the AI ChatGPT love letter to his wife, and then Lisa calling in to the show, I'm worried, John, that is going to beat out the 22-inch Glizzy.
I would not worry if I were you, Cap.
Why is that? I feel like that is one that everybody thought was awesome.
But Morales has no respect for that bit. That was a great radio
Morales
bit.
has downplayed that bit from the word go.
Hater. He's a hater.
And
bad guy.
I think he is going
miserable.
He's going to take care of you in that regard.
It's negative campaigning, is what you're saying?
No, I think that you'll find that.
Are you saying he fixed this?
No,
I
not
do
that he
believe it's
fixed
fixed.
it,
I don't
but
believe it's
I
fixed.
think that he has lobbied hard for the Glizzy. And so I think it's
I
going
mean,
to
the
pay off.
Glizzy was impressive.
And I'll tell you this: the Circle of Trolls vote.
Hey,
so that's
don't call them the Circle of Trolls.
No, well, they vote.
These are friends of everybody here
No,
at the
this is
station.
it reminds me of the time that Shaq. I covered Shaq's whole career, and Shaq was a lock to be the starting center in the All-Star game. And then Yao Ming came along, and Shaq said to me once, he goes, "My days of starting in the All-Star game are over." And I go, "Really?" He goes, "Oh yeah. Once his people get involved, that's it for me. I think once your people get involved, that's it for everybody else. So I think the Glizzy's going to win."
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I would like to win too?
What would you like
Game
to
of Games for Feature of the Year, or what do we call that? Bit of the Bit of the Year.
Lindsay
Feature of
may
the Year.
scratch her eyes out.
Oh, she would be so.
Lindsay's going to win. They're going to win that.
She's going to win
And-
Producer of the Year.
You can't win 3 years in a row.
Of course you can.
With
Yeah.
Radio Tinder. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
you will. Because I think your listeners are the best at voting. So I think they're going to take care of you. That's my prediction.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
By the way,
We shall see.
I don't know why. First of all, have you been on the Two Dudes One Pod show?
I
yet?
have not yet. No, I've been on
They're
the road.
they're great. Right, you've been traveling.
Yeah.
Cappy, have you done it?
Basically came off a runway yesterday.
I've not done it yet, but I will tell you this, Mace. Now, has yours dropped yet? Because I listened to the Morales.
It did drop. yes.
They dropped it for you?
How was Morales's?
Did you anybody hear?
No.
Crypto Ray,
No.
Casper Villa, and Morales.
Yes, I hear that, and I hear.
And Pepe
you
did
were
it, too.
on. You did
Mace.
one with him too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've not heard Pepe's yet, and I've not heard Mace's yet, but I did listen to Morales's over the weekend, and I got to tell you something. These guys did such a great job, Crypto and Casper. To be honest, just getting out of Chris's way and letting him tell stories. But they asked him things that people who are interested in would be like, I want to hear about that.
That is true, and don't forget that Laura also was in the.
Yeah,
one
Laura
of
did
the-
one too.
Right. So, yeah, we'll
I love
mean,
those.
listen,
Those guys are great. I
They
mean,
are great.
when I told him, the people who are really, really P1s, and obviously those guys are super P1s, but the P1s are so important to us. The people that show up at events, show up at when we do a live show somewhere. Those are the people that this night is actually for. It's not really for us patting ourselves in the back, although that's what we're doing. It's really for everybody else in a great big party. So I'm excited about it. And
Well, I
Cappy,
just
I'm going to
saw-
hang with you after.
Yeah, hey, Mace, seriously, the show will end. The lights are going to come up halfway, and the after party takes place right there in the tent. And I'm telling you right now that you may not be getting in an Uber. Okay, you may be staying in Miss Molly's suite. That's all I'm
Really?
saying.
I'm
yeah.
staying with Miss Molly?
I'm just listen. You're going to crash on the floor. I don't know, man.
Me and Miss Molly.
Yeah,
It's an upset.
I told you right there. I said it's going to happen one day.
I can, totally hang.
It can be platonic.
Exactly. No, I'm excited. All right.
Where are you guys going? What do you guys got something going on?
Heck yeah.
See you
Where are you
tomorrow
going?
at 1.
What?
Time coming, but I know